Welcome to Snowmobile Sessions Live on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms. It's the #1 destination to learn about snowmobiling, network with other sledders, and have an awesome time doing it. We'll meet other snowmobilers that share your passion and show your fan photos along the way. Snowmobile Sessions Live. Enjoy the ride.
This episode of Snowmobile Sessions Live is brought to you by Energy POWERSPORTS. They're Oakville's full-line BRP dealer with sales and service to all BRP models and so much more. Energy POWERSPORTS always has the fun in store with a wide selection of clothing, parts, and accessories for all your powersports passions. Make Energy POWERSPORTS your source for Can-Am off-road, ATV, and side-by-sides. Can-Am on-road Riker and Spider, including the sporty F3S. Skidoo watercraft and Switch pontoon boats. And Alumacraft fishing boats powered by Mercury Marine. Put yourself on a Manitou pontoon or a Widescape stand-up snowmobile. Energy POWERSPORTS is the home for Lynx and Skidoo snowmobiles for the entire family. Do you feel the energy? Energy POWERSPORTS, 879 Cranberry Court, Oakville, Ontario, or online, energypowersports.ca. All right, we're here with Drew as usual, and we got John Gibbs. He's a Skidoo ambassador, and he's also the moderator of, I don't know, what, 10 Facebook groups?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Including you're the biggest Skidoo-related snowmobile group, are you, on Facebook?
Yeah, we've got right now, we've got 67,000 members with about 1,100 pending. So awesome. It's been tough to keep up with right now. During the winter season, it really gains a lot of traction and seems to take off. So
yeah, we are. And there's Denon's in the group too. We've been the 705 Snowmobiles group, and it's a growing group. And every time we've got admin assist, but you see like there's 11 people waiting to be, waiting to come in and authorized, and we've got our security, checks and balances that have to be met before you can actually be in there, and away we go. But did you get the cold weather today? Like, it's blistery cold up here.
Oh yeah, it was -4 here today. We worked all day, but it was the wind. We had like 15, 20 mile an hour winds it was negative in the negative all day. So yeah, we're in a deep freeze. We actually got our first snow today of the season. Yeah, I'm dead serious. It's been brutal. So we got 8 inches, and that's our first storm so far today. So,
oh, that's brutal, and that's very unusual for you guys, is it not? You're in Maine, correct?
Yeah, Maine, New Hampshire. So Maine actually. So the areas that we ride the most in Maine. So like Caribou is the snowiest place in the state of Maine. They have 4 inches on the ground, and they usually average 100 plus inches of snow. So, wow. I mean, it's just from there all the way up to the St. John River. They're averaging anywhere between 4-8 inches. We're still waiting on from what they're saying, there's this low that keeps pushing down from Canada, and it's holding all the storms from coming up to hit us. So hopefully that changes soon.
Yeah, we're just trying to get back at Trump for threatening tariffs on us. That's all. send our cold down. We're gonna freeze them out.
Oh, I didn't know if you guys were coming the 51st state or what was going on there for a little bit.
We're not for sale. Can't harm the guy for trying. So
no, I know, right?
Yeah. we have pictures relative to that too from you. I think it's the pictures you sent in. I was giggling the whole time. Yeah. I was going through them. You got some great shots there, and we're gonna have a good conversation. We got some fan photos coming in. So tell us a bit about what you're riding. You've ordered a couple of sleds this year. I seen one had just come in, and you've got it all decked out already. Tell us a bit about your snowmobiles and how you pick them and why.
So this year, I've had a few backcountries in the past, and I've really enjoyed them a lot. I do different things to widen the front end, ZRP, offset spindles, try to get that more width to make it more trailable or whatever. So when this one came out with a new front end, the new ski, it was pretty much everything that I was looking for in a snowmobile for trail and off trail, which is what I like to do. We like to do a lot of exploring, a lot of night rides, a lot of shed hunting, looking for moose antlers, stuff like that. So it's a great all around snowmobile. And now that it has, like I said, the new trail front end and the new ski, it's really a phenomenal setup. They worked quite hard on that new front end and the ski, and it's really I love it.
Like compared to like an MXZ, like what's your thoughts on it? Like you obviously didn't ride yours this year yet, but you rode them last year when on the ambassador rides. Like what do you think about that?
The MXZ, don't get me wrong, you're definitely going to feel the difference from a 129 to a 146. But I don't, from a 137 to a 146, I really don't notice it. It's really not a huge difference. I don't really notice it a lot, but going from a 129 to a 146, yes, because the 129 you can just lean into and carve. You don't really have to let off the gas. You can do those corners, those nice tight corners, and you don't have to worry about the back end coming around, or it just hugs the trail and goes well. But so far, I took it out for a little bit today and a little bit the other day, and it's a lot of fun. I'm super stoked to get it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then did you get a mountain sled this year as well?
So I was going to get a mountain sled, but because of our snow situation, I just chose not to at the moment anyway. So if we somehow get a blizzard or something turns around, there'll definitely be a free ride in the stable for sure.
That's cool. Brad Hitchcock says that looks like Johnny Turbo. That's wicked. Hey, Drew, why don't you do a little roll call here? We got
roll call.
They're popping in all the time. Yeah. So
what do we got? We got 38 watching currently. 39 just jumped up. Let's see what we got in the chat so far. We got Lapoinski 800R says good evening all. Corey Brock, who we're out with a ride. We were out on a ride with this weekend. We'll have some photos of that. He's in there moderating as always. Ron Kestelut, Denon Oosterman. He had a rough weekend in Quebec. I'm sure he'll put some comments in there about that or some photos or something.
No.
Olive Garden Gnomes in the chat again. Chris Watson. Jamie Nichols says, going to be a great night. Plunge IT. Who else we got? Uncle Bucks says, evening, everyone. Just Fly Out Low says hello. Jacob Massart says, good evening. He's putting some custom CNA skis on his 670. He just sent me a video of them. He got the dipped ones that they're purple and black and yellow multicolor.
Nice.
So he went custom.
That's cool.
Money Massart. The Motorsport channel, Mike Kulitz is in the chat as always. Who else? Did I miss anybody so far? I don't think so. Pop in, say hello in the chat, everybody. You don't have to even have a question, comment, anything. Just say hello. We'd love to see the comments in there. We got 43 watching now. Numbers keep going up. Rob C.
That's 43. There's more watching. That's 43 that are actually in the chat.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
They're not commenting yet. So, did you post this on your big group? I thought we'd have like 100 people in here by now.
Oh my gosh, I know. I actually got out of work late and I didn't get a chance to put it out like I wanted to.
Put it on there right now that we're live. Go. I'll wait. Listen, actually, you can do it. Because that roll call was brought to you by Qualipieces, and I'll actually, you can do it while we're doing this ad. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Perfect.
You get 30 seconds. Can you beat it?
Yeah, I can do it.
Tired of dealing with worn out carbides and scratchers that just won't scratch your itch? You deserve better. It's time to upgrade your ride with Qualipieces. Qualipieces is the leader in specialized snowmobile accessories, bringing you innovative products that solve the everyday problems we all face on the trails. From their durable, long-lasting carbides, Trailblazer ice scratchers, to their ingenious roller ski, Qualipieces has redefined quality and performance. Have a taste of their specialized carbides at qualipieces.com and take your snowmobile to the next level.
Don't shoot. Corey Jinks is also in the chat, guys. Don't shoot. Everyone's pointing out that I missed Corey Jinks. Oh, sorry. Didn't know I was in the presence of a big bad ambassador. Sorry, Corey.
This is all about John Gibbs, not Jinx.
Yeah, we got the cooler. Right? We got the cooler Skidoo ambassador. Live.
Yeah, and you know what? Corey Jinks, he's been on the show before, right, Drew?
Yeah.
Has he ever done prizes on the show before?
No.
Do you know
he comes on, plays with his mullet and talks about Skidoos
in his tight little jeans. You know, our female viewership does go through the roof when Jinxie's on the show. All right, I will say that.
Corey's a good shit. We're actually getting together to do a ride here in a few weeks, him and I together. So I'm super excited. Yeah,
that's okay. I just said I only see his taillights, never see his face.
Yeah.
You know? He says, "Hey Gibbsy, he's got the chat's going wild now." So no, we had a great ride with Corey Jinks and
cool.
Well, we're not really with him. More like a few kilometers back, seeing the taillight of his comp, but it was with him nonetheless.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Corey's a great guy too. So you got a good group of guys.
Yeah, you know what? He's not pretentious, and he's so down to earth. Like I said to Corey Brock, and we run comms, and he's not in the comm group, and we can talk crap about him, but we don't. Well, we might. I don't know. I don't think we did on Saturday. He's just such a cool dude, and he's down to earth. He's so down to earth, and he's not. He doesn't like he rides with us, right? I mean, he doesn't. It's not like he thinks he's higher.
Well, right? Yeah. We're just ordinary, regular people. I mean, we're all still the same normal, ordinary people. We just, we're super passionate about this brand, and it's something that is very important to us, and it's near and dear to our heart, and we try to keep it going and get people into the sport and keep it thriving.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. And our friend MJ as well. You got some pictures of the gang coming up and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it is a small snowmobile world,
Yeah.
Corey says he's Joe Blow who likes to sled. That's all. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the whole team is great. We've got an amazing team. When we're all together, we've all been able to get together a couple times, and it's truly a great time. So, I mean, the whole team is they're all great people.
How long have you been an ambassador for Skidoo?
4 or 5 years now, I think. Yeah, 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Right on. I did steal the Skidoo write-up for the description of this stream, and it did seem like you were announced a couple years ago. Your other Facebook page is the New England Sled Talk.
Yeah, we have 50,000 members in there, and it covers all of New England, all sled brands, all of basically anything that's snowmobile related. We're like one big massive family. We all know each other, and we all do events together, and it's just we're a great group of people.
That's cool. Corey says, "What's your favorite part about being a Skidoo ambassador?"
Probably, well, I'll tell you, being able to test, being able to go out to private shoots like, West Yellowstone, Island Park, Idaho, to go out there and ride with those guys, our team, some of our, elite team and everyone, it's truly it's awesome, because when you're there and it's all happening and it's all going on and you're shooting, and it's just like, I'm come from a really small farm town in Maine. So for me to be chosen to do that is truly humbling. It really is. I'm super stoked, and I'm so glad.
That's cool. And then you've been riding Skidoo for quite a few years, even before being a brand ambassador. What drew you to the Skidoo brand in the first place?
So that all started from my dad. So my dad I have two other brothers, and we all grew up on Skidoo snowmobiles. My first sled was a '69 Olympic, and we drove that until it would run out of gas, and we'd fill it up and we'd run it again, and we just rode them and rode them and rode them. And my dad actually instilled in us at a young age about the Skidoo brand and the quality of it, and just their dedication to the sport and everything, and the racing and just all of it. And I remember when he used to take us to the oval ice races when I was 6, 7 years old at the Skowhegan State Fair. I mean, that was amazing stuff. I wish we still had that. That was just the best.
Yeah, things have changed. Like, we used to have a lot of poker runs, like at clubhouses, and you go, and then the local dealer would have demo sleds to test ride, and things like that. And it's like, that's all gone by the wayside. I mean, there's few clubs still doing poker runs around, and Snowmobile Sessions does their poker run now. We try to do that every year, weather permitting. And it's like, but it was cool back in the day, being a kid and going to these things, and being a teenager and going with my big brother, and all the hoo-ha was there, and it was a good time. They were playing cards in the clubhouse, and it's not like it used to be, that's for sure. But like, what do you think about the future of the younger generation? Like, how are we going to get these kids? Like, even Drew has friends. There's a couple that ride, but not like when I was younger. Like, we were hell torn on it. Like, we were hell on bogey wheels, when we were younger.
So how I look at it and think of it is like this. So, for example, you take kids and dirt bikes. How do kids get into dirt bikes? Their friend has a bike, and all the friends come over, and they all try the bike. And as soon as they try the bike, they go back home and tell mom, I got to have that bike. And that's the same thing we need to do back with snowmobiling. All of our friends, our kids, everybody that rides, you got neighbors, you got friends that have kids, have them come over, take them for a ride, let them try the sled, show them what it's about. Because once they actually get out there and they see how much fun it is, they're going to fall right in love with it. I mean, it is, there's so many things and places that you can get to on a snowmobile that you can't any other time. It's just, it's amazing. It really is. We've trekked to some really sweet spots that we would have never got to at any other time. So it's awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Plunge It says, my son Anthony Palermo, he's usually in the chats. He probably is again as well. He's 18 and riding since he was 8. He says he's created a monster, and that's awesome. That's the same as Drew. He got into it, I don't know, I think he was 10 or 11.
Quads 9. Quads when I was 9.
Yeah.
Sleds when I was
super cool.
11 or 12 is when we got that 380 fan touring.
But there's no way I'm going to let Drew bring his friends over and put them on an 850.
Well, no.
There's two heads to that. It's either the sleds are too powerful now, so you don't want to put any inexperienced riders on them. Or the other point is, once they ride it and get addicted, getting a sled, like, I mean, I know that they have like the Neo and stuff, which is great, but
once they experience,
I'm not going to put my friend on an XRS and be like, oh, this is the best thing, and they only have the money to go buy a 80s something, right? So that's the other problem too.
John's philosophy is bang on though. Like, that's the thing, and I think the MXZ 120s and 200s are the enabling that addiction, right? Like, that's the thing. It's Johnny's got one. Can I get one? And the parents can see it, but that's the thing. It's pretty
not
cool.
Everybody needs a new snowmobile. We're in this like generation where everybody thinks they got to have a brand new sled to enjoy it. You do not have to have a brand new snowmobile to enjoy it. You can have the same amount of fun on a 1970 that you can on a 2000. It may not ride as good, but you're still going to have the fun factor is still going to be there. You're still going to be out. You're going to be having that two-stroke smell, getting the air, flying down the trail, having a great time. Really, I mean, you don't have to have a 2025 as much as we want you to buy. You don't, you don't have to enjoy the sport.
Remember the guy we saw on Sunday, Dad? That we were at the one clubhouse, and we're like a big group of guys are all talking together, and a guy on a 98 SRX is coming down the trail, and everybody turns and is giving him the horns, and he blows it sideways and just pins it. Yeah, he's having just as much fun as the guys on a brand new comp turtle.
That's right, buddy. Like, that's right. Yeah.
No, it's kind of cool. Mike Galitz, he says, I was the kid with the first dirt bike. Mike Galitz, you're still the kid with the first dirt bike because when you give me a bike to ride in the summertime with your KTM 300, man. And then he wants us to go out and buy one. But the Corey Brock says, show us, you got your 3D printed sled there?
Yes,
we've seen pictures online, but anyone that hasn't seen it.
So this thing is an absolute thing of beauty. Okay.
Hold on, I gotta get rid of it. I gotta find that and get rid of it. How do I hide that comment now?
Just go back to the comment.
Well, there it is. There,
unhighlight it. Come on.
I know I can't find it. It is. Hide current. Okay, go. Look at that.
So this thing is worth every penny. The lights light up, all of it. I mean, I went with the upgraded piggyback shocks. It's just, I got the bomber, the Ice Age rails. I mean, I went all out. So you can do so many custom things with these. Clean Custom Printing is the guy who does it. He's phenomenal. He does a great job. He's always in contact with you, always asking you questions about what you want, how you want this, coloring, logos, everything. And I wanted it to kind of look like my competition. So that's why I went with these colors, but they have so much power. It's
that's awesome.
They rip, man. They rip. They really do. They're not.
Go ahead.
They're not cheap. You're going to spend, $1,100 to $1,400, $1,500, but this isn't no little toy either. It's fairly good size.
And as Denon's in the chat there, he says super cool. He's a 3D printer as well as I am, and you know what? Like, you got to appreciate what goes into that. Like,
the backwoods BMP bumpers. I mean,
just doing that bumper. Unless he's got to deal with backwoods and he's got CAD files sent to him. If he's designing that from scratch,
the Skidoo flap. I mean, everything. It's
awesome.
just
it's insane. Like,
the track is my favorite part of those ski rides. The 3D printed track.
Look at the shock. Looks legit,
it's
man.
So awesome.
It's the whole dude. It's fully legit. I'm not joking.
That is wicked. That's worth every penny. So here's the deal. Like, I'd be printing that thing, and I get like halfway through the tunnel on that, which is probably the tunnel in the hood would be the longest print, and it would fail, and then you'd have to throw it all in the garbage and start printing again. And
oh shoot, yeah. No, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's hundreds of hours of design work, if not thousands, I'd say. Super impressive. Yeah. Denon and I are like, we know what's involved in that. He's heavily into the 3D world, 3D print world. And I'm a hobbyist. I had 3 printers. I'm down to 2. But that might change.
You'll have to let me know what you recommend as a good printer, because I'm not going to do anything like that, because that's way beyond me. But it is a neat tool to have, for sure.
Yeah. The Bamboo Labs has decent stuff, and they're printing great right out of the box. And they've actually got a I can't remember what the speed is, but it's insane mode they've got on it, so it prints super fast. Like, when you load the printer, it shakes to see how stable it is, and then it uses that to set the speed the print head runs at. But it's not perfect. Like Drew can attest to it. You waste a lot of filament. Like it doesn't, even that one, even like I said, the bamboos waste a lot of filament. They got a thing out the back that poops when you change colors, and you'll waste a roll of filament when it's pooping out.
And it's not always perfect. I was trying to say.
Right.
It's not, it's there's a lady a video, and I always send people to it. I'll try and find you a link, but she said that you need to have patience and a well-stocked liquor cabinet. And it shows her going downstairs at 3 a.m. to change the filament out and all that stuff. But yeah, it's cool in the sense, if you have a hobby, like I print a lot of crap. Like Drew's, all those guitar hangers behind him are printed. Like
wow.
I print
and those two, the album hangers.
Super cool.
The little ball, the knob that's holding his mic there.
That's cool
design, and I printed it so it hangs down. Like I print a lot of stuff that I've designed, and
that's cool, Gary.
You think of something, you think of something, and like my BT Stinger headlights, LED lights, I wanted to put them in my vintage DT 200, and I created an adapter that actually mounts into the factory. It's got this goofy socket that it has to fit in, and then the LED headlight will snap right into it. So
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, like if you've got a hobby of photography, like GoPro accessories, I print a lot of that
GoPro
stuff.
accessories are awesome. Like that's considering how much they want for just the same plastic crap. That's good.
Oh yeah, like the mount that he had on his sled with running phone mount, that's 3D printed. Like
he made a GoPro mount with a ram ball on it, so it's like so you could put ram ball.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's super cool.
And it's kind of neat. So anyway, awesome. Back to you, or John. Are you going to wrap your new backcountry?
Yes, I've actually got I've got a new wrap right here from Deviant Ink that came in, and then I'm working with a company out of Canada as well. That I've got something special coming as well too. So I'll tell you. Here's my thoughts on wraps. When you go to sell the sled, you have to find somebody that has the same taste as you do, or that's going to look at it and say, I got to have that sled. You know what I mean? So factory is nice. Sometimes I just like to change the decals, some of the things like you do, Gary, you guys do some cool stuff too. And, just little things like that to dress it up, make it different. I hate being the same as everybody else. No matter what, I can't stand it. I always want my machine to be different somehow, some way. So I usually start planning my next build in June. So we're going to have a release here coming right up, not too far away, the 2026 models. So everybody get excited for that. Super pumped. And
what do you think's coming out in 26? Have you got any?
Are those smart leaf springs finally releasing that?
I know. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see.
Bring it back to 340 a land.
Yeah, I've got some ideas. The really cool thing is Skidoo is so far ahead in the technology aspect of the snowmobile, and the fit, the finish, the quality. Say what you want, but there's just not another brand out there that can match that. I've tried many other machines, and it's not a Skidoo, and I really love the Skidoos. Another thing that's going on right now, at least in the Northeast. So if anybody on there that's listening right now in the Northeast, Lynx is doing a ride. So they have 6 or 7 different spots around the Northeast where you can go and you can ride a Lynx for an hour. These are going to be trail sleds. They don't care if you're Polaris, Arctic Cat, Yamaha. They don't care what you ride. But if you want to try a Lynx out and see what it's about, you have to register through your dealer. That's the only way that you can do it. There is a post up in Skidoo Lynx Soldiers Club and New England Sled Talk with the dates, the locations, everything. So if you want to be a part of that and try out a Lynx, one of the trail sleds that they offer, which is really cool, I will say Lynx offers the best suspension of any snowmobile on the market. It's not even close.
The PPS3 is mind-blowing.
Oh, it is.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
We're going to talk about the Lynx. I rode one for the weekend. It's insane. Can they do that in Ontario? Denon would love to try a Lynx. Do you know if it's coming to Canada?
I will find out for you. I will find out. What I'll do, Gary, I'll message you back and you can maybe put it on the channel or let people know. But I will find out. I'll reach out tonight when we get off the show and see if I can find out. I know what's going on in the Northeast. I know in Maine, New Hampshire, New York. They got a bunch of different rides, and if they get some more snow, they may add some more.
Right on. No, it's I'm going to talk about that. I'm just laughing at what Jinxie posted. I'm wondering if I can show it, but I don't think I will. Can you see it?
He's so crazy.
Can you see Jinxie's comment there?
He's probably having a few toddies, I'm sure.
He says, John, I heard you'd be a CF Moto ambassador. The rumor's true.
Yeah, I don't think so. I've heard everything. I've heard Kawasaki's gonna buy them. I've heard I don't know.
I heard John. Did you hear the John Deere one too? That was another rumor. John Deere was gonna buy them out.
Honestly, the best thing that could happen.
Go ahead.
No, I think the best thing that could happen to them is be employee owned. I think that would be the best thing for Cat. If they could be an employee owned company, because there's so many people in Thief River Falls that are so dedicated to that brand and know how to build those sleds, that I think it would be the best thing for the brand, honestly. Yeah,
that's a great idea, actually. It's sad because they come out with the new chassis, the Catalyst and the 858, and they're slow out of the gate releasing that, but it was kind of a smart way to do it. And then to see them just fade away would be sad. So hopefully something does happen. There's still no competition for Skidoo in some degree, because the market share has is so far ahead of that, with Yamaha exiting as well, we can afford to have 3 different manufacturers. That's for sure. Right. Yeah,
definitely. We need them all for sure, buddy. We definitely do. Yeah. It drives innovation. It drives technology. It drives the sport.
Yeah. So, I think it'll keep the prices in check as well. If there's only 2, then who knows? I agree. I agree. Like rumor is Argo is buying them. I don't think that.
I've heard I think every single manufacturer that makes power sports things is in this thing. That someone just put, what was that? Honda, John Deere. We don't know. Nobody knows.
No, I know. I hope at the end of the day, somebody does and has the money to invest it and bring it up to what it could be. Because hey, I think it's great for everybody. There's a lot of diehard, cat riders out there, and hey,
it's true. Especially in Southern Ontario, where we were riding yesterday, it's fairly strong Yamaha cat. Still Skidoo. There's more Skidoos on the trail than anything else, but it's remarkable how much you see. Probably more than Polaris actually in this area. So, so I'll ask you a question. You don't elaborate on, just yes or no, and then I'm going to ask you follow up if the answer is no.
Okay.
Do you get any insight from Skidoo on what's happening out there? Like what's coming in February? Like, do you have any whisper of? You do. Okay, I won't. So I was going to say, if the answer was no, I was going to have you come up with some.
Oh yeah, no, it's nothing to
No, I just wanted to. I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, no. I would never. First off, I would never ever do anything to jeopardize my position. Never in a million years.
No. I just thought it'd be fun to get you to predict what might be coming out if you didn't know.
Oh, I don't. I mean, I don't know exactly right now at this point, at this moment. What I'll tell you what I would like to see. How's that? So what I would like to see, I'd like to see so I don't know about in Canada, but in here in the Northeast, the Expedition line is a huge, huge seller. I mean, it is just a massive selling machine. Maine sells so many Expeditions, it's not funny. So I'd like to see that brought up into the G5 chassis. That would be nice to see. I think it's time for a new 600. So I think it would be nice to see a new 600, something that's refreshed, that's modern, new. The 600 E-Tech has been around for a long, long time. It's an excellent motor. It sips fuel. It sips oil. It's a great sled. But I think it's time for a change in that segment. People like that. I'll tell you, people like the 130 to 140 horsepower segment a lot. Okay, a lot of riders love that segment of horsepower sleds. So I definitely think there's a good market there for that. I think, I'd like to see at some point, we're going to see the next generation of Skidoo, which will be the future going forward at some point. And I think it's probably going to be some pretty radical changes. That's just my own personal feeling. I think we're gonna see some really cool stuff coming from Skidoo down the line. Honestly, not even just machines, accessories, clothing, gear. They got a lot of new things in the pipeline, and they definitely have both feet on the gas. So,
it blows my mind. It blows my mind every year they're able to drop the mic, right? Like they come out with something mind blowing every year. Whether it's a new helmet design to a new, like last year, the front end and ski, incredible. Whether it's a 10 1/4 gauge a couple years ago, like they continue to raise the bar and put it so high that no one else can touch it.
And I love, and what I really love right now too is because you have Lynx, who is kind of, they're the same, right? It's BRP, but they do things different at different points. So now we have Skidoo makes a big change on 1 year, then Lynx is the next year, and it's kind of like this cool back and forth we've had since 22,
right?
Because we got Gen 5 23. Well, they got their Radeon 3 platform in 2024, right? And then it kind of is this, now you have something new from both sides for both people that like to ride either machine,
right? I will say this much: Skidoo is very, very strict on the fact that Lynx is separate from Skidoo. Lynx is not Skidoo. Lynx is its own brand. Skidoo is its own brand, and they are very strict on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. They're even engineered in different divisions as well, which is pretty crazy, right? So yeah, of course they share some things like to keep the costs in check. But as far as like hand guards and handlebars and
headlights on the last model.
Yeah. When you look underneath the thing, it's like that PPS3. I'm going to talk about it when we get to the pictures, because I could brought some pictures.
If I was going to buy a Lynx, I would have loved to have bought a Lynx, but I love Skidoo, and Skidoo serves me in the way I ride, best. But if I was going to buy a new Lynx, I definitely would have bought that Rave GLS this year. I think that is just looking at that sled, it just looks badass. I love that sled. It's really sharp.
Yeah, they definitely do, for sure. It's pretty awesome. What do you think of air suspension?
The air ride on, I think that's a great suspension. Skidoo's had excellent luck with that on the Enduros. The Enduro is a super, super popular sled. I think the air ride offers a great ride. I think it's super comfortable. I never hear really issues or problems with it. Like anything, it shocks. I'm a guy that services his shocks every other season. I think it's if you do 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 miles, you should be servicing your shocks. That's just what I do every other season. It makes a huge difference in the way the sled handles, reacts, and it's all part of the service.
And you get the heated seat too, which is pretty
amazing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The heated seat. You get the big windshield. All kinds of goodies come with it. Come with the Enduro.
Have you ever heard of air ride freezing? The Motorsport Channel says, does the air ride tend to freeze?
The only way I would say air ride could freeze is if somehow water got in the line, somehow water got inside the shock or inside that line somehow. That's the only way I could see that maybe it would freeze if somehow, water could get in there.
So no different than a normal shock anyways then.
Yeah, really. I could. Yeah.
Last year twice. So
yeah. Yes. That's the only thing I can see. If you got a bad seal or something that allows the water to get into it, that allows that thing to freeze up solid, then that's the only thing I could really see.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wild. Wow. That's cool.
I'll tell you one thing. One good point is there are literally most riders don't know this, but there are literally hundreds, and I mean hundreds of different rear springs for your snowmobile. Okay. The stock springs on a snowmobile really are for 150, 160 pound rider.
Yeah.
So this is something that people should talk with their dealer about and stuff, but there are so many different options and spring rates that you can upgrade your rear springs to that really makes such a difference in the way that the machine reacts, rides, handles, everything.
Absolutely. Chris Watson says he's been on a 3-day trip in a polar vortex and no issues with its air ride. Greg Kelly's got air ride too, and he says no freezing with my sled. Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
awesome stuff.
Yeah. If you wait long enough, John, the chat will answer itself.
Good group of guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. Brad Hitchcock wants a Gen 5 with a 250 horsepower, 1000 cc 4-stroke.
I would love to see a modernized triple is what I would love to see from Skidoo. I would love to see. Yeah.
Denon suggested that as well. What I was going to ask you, since you're doing predictions, is do you think they'll do something with the GPS now that, like last year, Drew was mentioning this on the weekend, like last year they brought out the module, right? So you have GPS without a phone connection. Do you think they'll revamp the gauge this year?
I think there's going to be, every year, more and more bits and pieces to the gauge come out. Something else comes that opens or unlocks this, and we now have this, so we now have that. So I think, yes, I think you're going to see newer things. That gauge is super, super sophisticated, and it is super, super technologically advanced. That, I mean, being able to have the snowmobile update if you have Wi-Fi sitting right in your garage is pretty freaking cool. Okay, that's just unbelievable. That's super cool. So I think you're gonna see, I'll tell you what people want to see. People want to be able to see Track Your Buddy, which is huge for the off trail guys and the mountain guys. I truly think that it's important. It's important for avalanche safety. It's important for knowing where your buddies are if something was to happen. So I hope to see that come. And I hope to see the full GPS thing just open right up for everybody, and just make it an ease of option and not have to use your phone. Hopefully we can get to that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like there's a lot of things about that. I was praising the. Hold on, I'm out here. I was praising the
it is a work in progress.
I was using it on the phone this year on the 2018 with the cell phone mount, and I was praising that the BRP Go is amazing this year with the tracks, the breadcrumbs leaves, and how easy it is to find. You insert fuel, add the itinerary, you're gone, and then you open up Facebook and it's people frustrated with it on the gauge. It's hard to use and I'm going like, how would you be able to get that ease of use from the phone to work on the sled? And I think that's the key. Right.
Eliminate the phone. I think that's if we could somehow just eliminate the phone and have it right to the gauge. Yeah. I think is, that's what I'd like to see. I hope that comes. so that you don't have to, if you want to use your phone to listen to music or whatnot, great, you can. But I think it would be nice if it was its own standalone GPS, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Corey did a ride yesterday without plugging in his phone after he downloaded the Ontario maps. It was pretty cool.
And Sunset Trail Rider said Cat's gauge is pretty slick, hard to beat a Garmin. The Cat's G8 gauge. This is another reason why I think that obviously competition in the industry is great, because Cat came out with that G8 this year, and it is. I don't know what you can say, but I think it's the best gauge out of the three right now. But I highly think that Skidoo's going to come out and step the bar up, because I feel like you now have to. Because that gauge, like I was playing around with it at Heydays on the bars, and I'm like all the different apps in it. I love the layout of it, but at the same time, like the 10.25 is great. It's just it's
as far as the gauge, I think Skidoo has the best gauge on the market as far as the gauge, the size, what it is itself. I think it is great. It just, but then you have Garmin. Okay, Garmin is the leader in navigation and GPS. They have been forever. So of course that was going to be a hit. So I wouldn't be sitting on the sidelines. Skidoo's not going to sit on the sidelines too long. I can assure you of that. Okay. So
no,
they don't sit at number 2 or number 3 for anybody. So I can assure you that there'll be something coming.
Oh, for sure. Trail System Ontario, Odie the Sled and Truck guy says the Trail System Ontario changes too much for any data to be 100%. That's true, right?
That's a problem. That's just a problem on Ontario's side.
So does Ontario not so when their groomers go out and do trail changes, they're not tracking their groomer, their ride, so that it's going back to, tying back into the Ontario trail system, so that it can make in these updates real time?
The OFSC tracks their groomers on their app, but it's not. The club still has to say this trail's been groomed, and the issue is that BRP Go sometimes is like 12 hours out on getting that update. So that's the thing. I was riding trails and it looks like someone commented, "You're on closed trail" on my first video this year. And I was like, no, OFSC shows that trail is yellow. They're the gospel. And BRP Go just hadn't updated on my phone yet when I was running the map, so it looked like it was closed. And then yesterday we had the same thing. We were flying along and Drew goes, "This trail looks closed," and we checked and it was. So we turned around, went the other way. And it was going to send us down the open trail, which was probably open the day before, right? Or 2 days before or something like that.
Wow, that's so odd that it changes like that. That much.
Yeah, it's put it this way. We drove up to Durham last spring and we got up to Durham and OFSC closed trails. So on the way back, we were all over the place trying to reroute. You know what I mean? It's insane.
So what's the purpose of them closing trails? I guess I don't understand.
Yeah,
I think it's landowner.
We don't have the same thing. It's not like December 1st to April 1st open. It's like they can open and close based off your real-time snow conditions, which is why the problem with BRP comes, because OFSC wouldn't let BRP have the maps unless they were going to share the open close, because we use a red, yellow, green system and it changes daily. It could change hourly. But BRP's thing was, if they were going to get the maps, they would have to have that system from OFSC. But OFSC wouldn't let them have it real time. They still want it to be gospel.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, because that's our Ontario insurance and MTO, and it's a whole bunch of. And
sometimes the clubs will close it, like Corey will tell you too. Sometimes the clubs will close it to protect the trail. So if it's like that day, it started raining. Well, if you're a smart club, you keep sleds off of it so that you maintain the base. So there is something to it. Like we have very fragile in our area snow conditions. This has been a great year so far. I mean, we've been riding since December. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. Rare. We were December 6th up in Halliburton Forest, and then I passed on a couple of rides in December, and you could almost went out every week, with the exception of maybe 2 weeks, like the week before Christmas and after Christmas was kind of crummy in this area, but it's been bar on all the way through, knock on wood. In January is really good. So
here we got people here that are riding on 4, 6, 8 inches of snow total.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's at the, it's almost at the point where here, at least these last couple of years, when it snows, you got to ride or you're not riding. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it unfortunately, I hope all that changes real soon and we can get back to, to real winters.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much a real winner in my mind for where I am, Southern Ontario. North hasn't got it yet, but I mean, I don't remember ever riding in like my cottage area where Odie, the sled and car guy, is. It's usually that last weekend of January. So next weekend it would open.
Yeah,
and
it would usually open. It would usually open after my high school exams were done for a semester, which was usually that last week of January. We'd go up on like that weekend is usually when we'd go up and ride. So,
have you guys ever been? Have you guys ever been to Moose Valley?
No.
Nope.
No.
We've not ridden outside of Ontario or Quebec.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Moose Valley's, where's that?
That's not too far over the Maine border. So, how many miles of trail do you have in Quebec in the two areas where you guys ride?
Well, in Ontario, they used to have like 27,000 kilometers, which would be like 20,000 miles of trail that were connected. This year, the MTO made us get land. They're really enforced getting our landowners to sign agreements. There's a lot of agreements that were set years ago, but were never reinstated. But we kept on building trails and riding them. And this year they won't open trails, so we've lost a lot of good connecting trails. But it's like my cottage it's 300 kilometers away, let's say, and I could ride from my back door to the cottage on trails on a good year, right? Like the last few years, there've been a few weeks I could have done it. This year, I don't think it connects. Like Jinxie's famous for his ride around Algonquin Park, the Rap Tour, and he does that in a day. But you can't do it this year. You wouldn't be able to do it in a day. You might be able to find workarounds.
You can't do it at all. The whole top is broken right now because of landowner agreements. It's really sewered a lot of the trails here in Ontario.
Now, is that something that's going to come back? Now, those connectors are going to come back, and things will be back like they were, or
some of them will, some of them won't. Chris Watson says that he's Quebec. He says 33,000 kilometers. So what's that, Drew? 22,000 miles?
Yeah, that's impressive. That's impressive.
Quebec has 30,000 and Ontario has 25,000 right now.
We actually have right now open to ride is 10,008 kilometers today in Ontario.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Open to ride.
Now. Rap Tour won't happen this year, Odie says.
It's a shame.
If landowners sign. So, yeah.
Well, that's too bad. I hope it all works out for you guys, so you guys all get your trails back open for sure, man. I really do. That's too bad.
Yeah, we used to have over 30,000, and now, like Denon says, it's around 25,000 right now. Yeah.
Now, do you think that's because of just a lot of politics that have been added to? Yeah.
It's politics,
like 3 years ago, it's always been a thing. We've had to have landowners sign saying because they're insured through the OFSC, right? That's another thing that's different than Quebec. Quebec carries the rider carries the insurance for the liability. In this case here, you need liability on your sled, but the OFSC also protects the landowners as well, right? So if you say winter wheat stay on trail and you ride off and you tear the crap out of the guy's farmland, the farmer can go back to the OFSC and say, hey, listen, you wrecked like $5,000 worth of crops, and the OFSC will pay for it, right?
Oh, okay.
There's that to it, right? And that's so the MOUs are memorandum of understanding. It stands for a landowner agreement. They're in place just so that if there is any issues liability wise, we know we have permission to be on that land, right? And 3 years ago, we heard it was coming, and our club here started working on it. This year, when it finally came down, I think we had 2 or 3 landowners we had to track down, and some of them are numbered companies. You have a big field, and it's owned by a numbered company, and you don't know where that company's out of, right? In this case, it was like 2 hours away, kind of thing, right? So it's and we're a small club. I think we have 80 landowners 80 or 88. And I mean, you go up north, some of them have thousands of landowners. So and if you've got a club with 12 volunteers, if you have a club with 12 volunteers, imagine tracking down.
Oh, goodness. Holy.
3,000 landowners.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So it might take, and then some of these landowners, like there's a guy Drew and I talked to a couple of years ago, and it was a really neat section of trail I remember as a kid. And he come out and talked to us when we were driving down the road in the summertime on the snowmobile and laughing and taking pictures and stuff. And he introduced where he was. And I said, oh, the snowmobile trail used to go through that land. And he goes, yeah, it did. And I go, oh, it's my club, right? It's that I belong to and volunteer for. I said, we'd love to get that back. And he goes, you never will. And I said, why is that? And he goes, snowmobilers would cut my fence to get in the field to rip around their sleds. My cows got out. They're all over the place. He goes, you guys will never get the trail back. And it's just because and they probably weren't even weren't even permit holders, right?
Right. But there's the classic case. One person ruins it for everyone.
We got a big problem with that in Ontario.
Yeah.
Snowmobiling.
Ontario.
There's some people with some real attitude problems that buy these machines.
Do you guys have that, like where you ride? Now I see pictures and it's pretty awesome. We're going to get to the fan photos actually shortly. But do you guys have the open fields where it's staked and then the guys are riding outside the stakes and
yes, that does happen. I'm not gonna admit it doesn't. It does happen for sure. It does happen in some spots. Generally, the strict areas, that we're in jeopardy of losing or something like that, people tend to obey and stay where they're supposed to. But yeah, no, it definitely does happen. Let's say that the trail hasn't been groomed and is clapped out, so they'll go outside the stake to ride the soft powder because that's all clapped out, waiting for the groomer to come by.
Yeah. And here Denon's really heavily involved. He's involved in 3 or 4 clubs, I think. He says there's not many gaps left in the trails unless you know where to look. It's been massively impressive, and I agree with what the clubs have managed. Like I was expecting a lot more trails to be missing from the maps this year, and they're there. He says Sioux to Wawa, Chapleau to Timmins, the Rap Tour, and the whole Carden area left, right? Like, so it is impressive. I mean,
they're constantly working on that app. They're constantly updating. They're constantly working. They're constantly doing things to try to make it better. They're it's not like they're not working on things, and believe me, they are constantly working on stuff. And I think with the release that's coming, I think you'll see some probably updated and new things that will make people and riders happy. I hope that happens. So, but even right now, I mean, I don't know about in Ontario, but here in the States, it's 0% for 60 months for basically all 2025 sleds, besides a couple of the Neos, I think, in the kids models, stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know if that's up in Canada, but they're doing some great incentives right now to, if somebody was looking for a sled and their dream sled or whatnot, it's I mean, to not cost anything to borrow money, I mean that's pretty good.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very cool. Well, I think what we're going to do is we're going to get into fan photos. We're going to have a look at some stuff that people have sent in, and we're going to get to yours, and we're going to keep this conversation going. So I'm just going to run
and who's that brought to you by, Dad?
FastTrack. John Gibbs loves FastTrack.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I do. I'll tell you right now. Okay, father and son business. These 2 guys are amazing people. Really, really amazing people. Kind, respectful, just generous, decent people. And they make an unbelievable product. Stainless steel, never rust. I've never had a bent stud. I've never had a ripped out stud. I've never ever had an issue with one of their studs. I swear by FastTrack.
Yeah, we did too.
They
bought us lunch at Five Guys in Chicago, and we were going to
exactly.
That's awesome.
Got our heydays t-shirts.
Yes, too. Yes, yeah, that was super cool. Yeah.
So cool. I laugh because it was on your page. I'm pretty sure it was your page. Somebody posted a picture of their track with Woody studs in it and saying how great these studs were, and half of them were bent.
Yeah.
So I put
Yeah.
a picture of Drew's track on it, and Drew's track's been ridden beyond manufacturer specifications. There's nothing bent. It
Yeah.
looks amazing.
I
His
even
track
tested how well
was-
I even tested accidentally how well FastTrack studs cut into frozen wood.
It's a,
Turns out you can't bend the studs.
No, it's pretty amazing. You know,
it
like
really is.
they're super strong. They don't rust, and they always look new and stuff. It's like, it's, you know, and we've had Skidoo parts break, and people just shake their head, scratch their head, going, "How did you do that?" And the FastTrack studs is not one of those parts. It's
no.
Take the licking and keep on ticking. So
Yes, it does.
listen to what I have to say.
Fan photos are brought to you by FastTrack Snowmobile Traction. This season, quit sliding sideways on the ice and losing races to your buddies. A FastTrack stud kit will help you with improved braking and give you the arm-ripping acceleration you crave. I put over 3,000 clicks last season on my Renegade 850, and I'll tell you, these studs exceeded my expectations. Not one broken stud. My idle wheels still look like new, and they hooked up like I was on rails in the twisties, inspiring confidence every ride. FastTrack Top Gun kits are the highest rated stud kit at 4.9 stars with over 230 reviews. The studs are heat treated stainless, so they are strong and they don't rust. The kit is lighter, easier on the track, and has a lifetime warranty against breaking. Each kit comes with a track specific template for complete balance with over double the scratch lines from stock templates. All listeners, when purchasing a stud kit, can get a free install kit, a $30 value. Visit fasttrack.co, add both products to the cart, and use the coupon code SNOW at the checkout. That's fasttrac.co.
There we go.
Super cool.
Yep. Make sure you use that coupon code SNOW. It's pretty cool. Yeah, there we go. $140 Canadian is $15 US. I'm giving them some conversion prices in the chat right now. So
Beaver bucks.
Yeah. I didn't put that up here. Hold on. Right here.
You're missing a few things here, Dad. What's going on? There we
There
go.
we go. Hey, I was
Almost
bottom.
got it.
That's kind of cool. I'll go up the side there. I like this.
And your banner for the bottom.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot to get on here, you know. There we go. If you want to see your pictures on the show, just send them in to fanphoto@mudbrats.com before Mondays at noon, and we'll and send me a little note as well, like the people that have sent me notes this week. So anyway, we're gonna go through this. Had a wicked ride with Corey Brox on the left there, and Drew and me in the middle, and Corey Jinks on the right, and we put on some fast mileage on not me. I was slow, but Corey and Drew apparently were riding. The two Corys were riding with us, I guess. They said awesome. They were anyway. I didn't see much of them all day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I got some seat time on the Lynx, and
nice.
What a machine! I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So coming off of 3 years of Smart Shock sleds, 2 years of Smart Shock.
2 years Smart Shocks, 1 year of QAS.
Yeah, for sure. And we've had our motion for years and stuff, and you know, you hear about this being the Finland, you know, not having groove trails, and it's great in a rough terrain and things like that. And in 2022, when they first launched it, John Luke actually from Energy PowerSports, he loaded one up. They literally got it in the dealership. It was probably the last day you could ride in Ontario. The snow melted. It was on a melt pretty fast. The trails were closing like crazy. He loaded it in the truck and brought it out to us to ride. And Drew, Corey, Adam Furlong from Backyard Rec, he got a chance to take a rip on it. And
nice.
And, we really only did about, I don't know, a 5 kilometer section of trail, like so, and 3-4 miles of trail.
The skis were off the ground.
The whole time.
yeah, and it's like it wasn't, and like I said, it wasn't set up. He literally got it out of the crate, assembled it, loaded it on the trailer, and brought it and said, "Hey guys, meet me here." And we went out and rode it. So, like John Luke's, he's a Lynx guy, and he's sang the praises of this sled
for years and always wanted me to get my seat on one. And it finally happened on the weekend. And I'm telling you, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I was thinking this thing was going to be a wheelie monster and kind of, you had to tame it down to get it to do anything. But if the trails are smooth, this thing handles like a Ferrari. If the trails are rough, it eats it up and wants more. Like, it's just it's insane. That PPS3 suspension in the back, like, you're going in G outs, and I'm just putting together a little video right now on this. Drew's ahead of me, and he hits his G out, and you hear him going, "Ow, beep," like F.
Yeah.
And I hit it, and it's just like boom. Like, it's almost like it. Like I said, it's almost like it takes your bum and just sets you down. Like it just gently brings you down, and it's like there wasn't anything that really. There was one bad spot that I get airborne, and it just kind of saved the day. Like,
that's Kashima coated Pro 46s. They're just phenomenal shocks.
It's insane. And I said it in my review that there's something about the balance of this sled that's unique over the Skidoos I've ridden, in the sense that there was one part where it come along in the field, and there was a bump, and it dropped out below, and like, our speed limits are 50 kilometers an hour. So we're probably doing 47, 48 kilometers an hour. Might have been doing 49.
47. We're doing 48, 49 miles an hour.
And this thing jumped. So we're doing 25 miles an hour. And this thing dropped out on us, and everybody's flying through the air. And I see Drew look back, and he sees me, and I come through the air, and this thing is like, it made me like Blair Morgan. Like, it just, he looks back and goes, "I thought I was watching snowcross there for a second." It's like, but the thing doesn't, even in the bumpy terrain, like the older Skidoo before the new front end and stuff, like even before smart shocks, you might get a little bit of staggering when it's in chatter. And the smart shocks is a different thing altogether. It doesn't it eliminates some of that too. But this thing just stays true to where you point the thing, and it's like, I'm impressed. Like, it's just it's one of those things I can't believe after riding it that we don't see more Lynx on the untearable trails.
Well, I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see that change. I think you're starting. I think we are starting to see it here. The push for Lynx more, and to get more people on them, to try them, to see what it's about. See if it fits their style of riding or that style of rider. Maybe they love it better than what they're on. Give it a shot. Try one out if you get a chance, and I guarantee you it will blow you away.
Yeah, it does. It's like, it's one of those things that I expected good things from it, but it totally exceeded my expectations as well. Like, I can't describe how unique that rear suspension is. Like, the front suspension, don't get me wrong, it is front suspension of a sled. It is different. And it does its job, but that rear skid is so good that it negates anything else on the sled. It's so cool. Like,
and one thing I'll say about the weekend is, just from watching Dad ride that, John Luke owes me an apology, because now I think I'm committed to getting a Lynx next year for my first sled of the year.
Oh, hey, there you go. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, they've got the Rave, they got the Brutal, they've got the X-Terrain. They've got quite a good charge of some great trail models for people to try out.
And as they keep bringing more and more from their Finnish side to here, and hopefully more of the colors come and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They got some sick colorways over there too.
They do.
I'm an orange guy, and they got a complete orange and black one for the Rave.
Yeah.
And if they ever brought that to Canada, I think that they'd have my money.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. If you ever get a chance to get some seat time on one, I highly recommend it. It's and if you just want to roll the dice and take the chance of spring ordering one,
I think it's worth it.
You will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed.
But what did you say, Dad? What did you say specifically about it to me? You said if you are a stand-up rider who likes
Yeah.
the more physical riding aspect. You like doing wheelies over hills and maybe getting airborne and riding on the limit of the machine, then the Lynx is for you. But if you're more of a sit-down cruiser, get Smart Shocks, because they're Smart Shock XRS, because they're relatively the same price.
The Smart Shocks are phenomenal. Don't get me wrong; they really are. It's a great, if people really understand the technology and how many thousands of times a second that thing is reading data. I mean, it knows when the sled is airborne, so it corrects itself for a landing. You know, it keeps you more planted in the trail. I find with Smart Shocks over standard shocks. You know, it gives a whole different ride and a whole different experience of riding. I know people talk about this new Polaris Dynamic stuff, but the way I look at it is, you know, Skidoo's the OG when it comes to the active suspension, and everybody else from this point is just going to be a show. You know, I think Skidoo came out and knocked it out of the park with the Smart Shocks, and I think you'll see that technology evolve even better than what it is.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Everybody that gets Smart Shocks, like Brad Bender on his 900R that he just picked up last week, he just goes, the Smart Shocks are amazing. Like he just, and he really hasn't taken it out of comfort mode yet.
And Brad Bender is the guy that he was telling me this on our last group ride. He made, because he had the QAS, just normal R motion, right?
Sure.
36s. He made all these little changes to the handling. He wanted the thing to handle the best he could. So he made all these little changes. He put it all in a spreadsheet of how did it feel? What did the change do? He spent probably hundreds of hours of a couple seasons doing it. And yeah, now he's on Smart Shocks, and it's like,
he had dual rate. He had the accelerated technologies, dual rate springs, and all these
lowered
other
a little bit to the flat AR, like it was all done up, and then now he's on Smart Shocks. He's like, kind of probably thinking to himself, he's like, oh man, I could have just done this years ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's a Smart Shocks is don't get me wrong, it's freaking it's amazing. And Drew's right. It's like I say that in the review I'm going to put out. I think it's coming out tomorrow. Like if like I've got a dirt bike background. If you stand up a lot, if you got a dirt bike background, you stand up and ride a lot, the Lynx is definitely something you're gonna love and have fun with. If you just sit and cruise all day and you don't get out of your seat, then I don't think you're gonna enjoy the Lynx as much as if you actually ride it, right? Like
that's why it's important for people to try them, you know, to try them out, because the Skidoos are set for, you know, U.S. riding and how trails are groomed and everything else. Whereas the Finnish sleds that come from Finland, there's no grooming that goes on in Finland. There's no groomers. Everything they ride over there is either powder or clapped out, or, you know, so it's really a super different sled that gives the rider a different experience as opposed to the Skidoo. Don't get me wrong, Skidoo is the best as far as I'm concerned, but the Lynx gives those other riders that want a different option, something different to try. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, they're going to get on a different sled that they haven't tried and be like, wow, this fits me. You know, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. So, you know, that's why I tell everybody, I'm the guy too, if we're out riding and I'm on the side of the trail and people stop and want to chat and stuff, and if one of them have never ridden the sled that I'm riding, hey, we're here. Take it for a rip. Go try it out. Seriously. I mean, why not? That's how you're going to get people to try new things. And wow, you know, they go back and say, wow, I rode that guy's sled. Wow, that thing was awesome. It was set up. It was handled great. You know what I mean? And it just gets people's minds working. It's like, wow, I got to get that sled. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just nice to open up your mind to new things and different sleds. And it just doesn't matter whether it's a Tundra or an Expedition or a Scandic. Try them. Try it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Absolutely. This picture here is a clubhouse we came upon, and there was 100 people there, man. Like it was crazy, and they had hot dogs and a big cookout going. And
I think this is old school sledding. You know what I mean? This is like something that we never see in Ontario very often. We love to see it.
Yeah, this is what you see. People from Quebec and the U.S. sending pictures like this all the time, and the photos, I just picked a couple, and it was wild. Like there's
look
people
look at the camaraderie with everybody. You know, everybody,
and it's families. You know, no one's really
Oh, there's those enclosed snow coaches there, and
those things are cool.
It was wild. Like it was a family affair, but there's the Lynx and there's the Renegade sitting next to it and stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. But
looking good.
What a fun day. What a fun day. And that's Corey Brock's sled there on the right. And
nice.
You got Corey Jinx's on the left there. So
nice.
I don't know why we didn't get a better picture. And the Lynx sitting there too. So you can see the difference of the styling though, right? Between the sleds, right in that picture. So yeah, Corey says that was neat. Came around the corner and there's a forest and a barn and there was a big hangout.
Yeah, that's super sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the graphics look good on the Renegade. That looks sweet.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was my Gen 5. I tweaked it a bit and I made it a little bit better. So hopefully the sound works on this video. But I wanted to see the launch control on the 850 turbo. So Corey Jinx gave us a little demonstration.
Yeah, there's no sound, Dad.
Oh, okay.
I could feel it though. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, with that Gord's Garage whole shot plate on her.
Yeah. I'll tell you, he's a pretty good dude. He's a pretty smart man. He's got some really neat aftermarket accessories for the Skidoos.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jinx was raving about his whole shot plate, and you could see it too. There was sometimes like because Corey Brock and Corey Jinx, same sled, but Jinx had the whole shot plate on this. They'd come around the corner, both pin it, and Jinx's skis are just like dancing on the snow, and he can pull the front end up with the launch control and stuff. It's cool. It definitely makes a difference.
I tried to get one for the backcountry, but they didn't. He doesn't have one for the backcountry yet, so we'll see. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. But that's the thing, that the Lynx is like having an 850 turbo. The way when Jinxie was lifting skis, the Lynx was lifting skis too. But Jinx would carry it right through to 50 kilometers an hour, and mine would stop at 49.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like it's the Lynx is pretty fun. Like it's a lot of power. And it feels like it's way more power. Like
somehow it feels like it has more power than a normal 850. It's the thing. Like,
it sounds cool too. Like it's got a really neat sound to it as well. Pretty cool. And this is neat. We come around again, just like that. You come around into this bush, and Drew goes, "There's a school bus sitting there, and there's smoke coming out of the back of it, and it's actually a warming hut."
Oh my goodness, that's cool. It's cool.
They took all the seats and they mounted them against the wall sideways. So
nice.
The complete center is open, but the driver's seat, all the controls and everything is still in the bus.
Oh my god!
So I had flashbacks of being late for school, running after that thing. Like. So Drew and I went inside and we chatted with some people that were hanging out in there, and so I've got video coming out of that, but. It look at it's still on all the wheels, I
know that's crazy. Does it still have the motor in it and everything?
Yeah, I peeked under. It still has the motor.
Oh my gosh!
it can't have fuel in it because they wouldn't be able to have fuel tanks with a wood.
Yeah, right.
It's like diesel. It's harder to spark. You'd be good.
Yeah,
chasing the short bus, Gary. Yeah,
God,
but it's wild. Like it's just so cool. Like it's. And it was like you can see all the sleds there. It was pretty funny. Yeah. But
that's it's awesome to see all those people out riding, man. It really is. That's cool.
Oh yeah, it was a good day. That's the thing about this area is I said to Drew last night, it's like we're driving home in the dark and there's still sleds out, and it's like you still use the hand signals even though you have the LED signal lights, and it's like you still use the hand signals because it's part of being in the pack, right?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. So last week we had the Sepala expedition on, and Jamie Nichols, and he sent me some pictures. He had a great time last week. So did we. And he said we should be in Thunder Bay while the podcast airs. We made it across the border Sunday night, and we're making headway through your cold hole.
Wow.
The truck started Sunday morning and won't shut off until Wednesday night with any luck. He's got 120 gallons of fuel on, and we only have to stop for dog care every 8 hours. Thank you, MUDBRATS. Follow along January 27th for the Centennia Sepala expedition. So these are the sled.
Oh, they're beautiful.
John, you got to listen to that show, our last week's show, or watch it. It was pretty cool.
I will. Yeah, they are beautiful.
Yeah, so this guy is retracing the steps of the Sepala expedition, where they actually used sled dogs to travel 700 miles in the Arctic to take medicine for. Do you remember what it was, Drew?
I can't remember.
Oh, I remember. There was a movie about that. I saw the movie. Yeah, that's awesome.
So
all the children were dying, and
yes, that's right. Yes,
the only way they could get the
with the dogs.
And so we have the guy that's doing it, and these dogs are actually bred generation over generation from the original dogs that ran that journey.
That's amazing.
Isn't that cool? So
yeah,
and the way it connects to us is that Jamie Nichols is actually and one of his buddies, I can't remember, it's a videographer, are actually going to ride sleds to provide support to them. So they're going to ride ahead of them or behind them.
Wow.
To break trail.
So they have 2 Skidoo expeditions all done up, and
that's
then they built these big aluminum, they call them coffins, but basically to take shelter in if there's bears or anything out there. You know, like, it's pretty wild. And there's the actual musher right there. And they talk about, like, back in the day when it was done 100 years ago, there was hotels and all kinds of like taverns along the way to get warm. And they're all gone, right? They're not in business anymore. So they're living out of these 2 big aluminum boxes most of the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is super, super cool.
Yeah. If anyone hasn't watched the show, definitely check them out. It was something that I rolled the dice on because
there's those 2 aluminum boxes on top of the second gen.
I'm going to pass that along to Skidoo. I think that's something that that should be. Yeah, I think that's something. Yeah, that is super, super cool.
And the thing is, they're not doing this for money.
Right.
They're obviously looking for donations and things like that, but it's not a race. It's just them doing
it. Yeah, right. It's basically like a heritage thing, going back and doing. Yeah.
And it's kind of cool to think that it's actually in the bloodline of the original dogs is the best.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
like,
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Wow.
So see on the back of this truck, the 2 silver boxes, those are their sleds they drag behind the 2 expeditions. And that's what they carry fuel and whatever. Look how happy these dogs are in that trailer, eh?
Oh yeah. That is awesome.
Yeah, they're cute.
That's super cool.
Yeah, and we had John, the musher, and he could talk all night. We were way over time on last week's show, and it was just so interesting and engaging. I had such a good Lepoinski says it was a cool show. You know, that's
so sweet.
You can't think you could talk for 3 hours about 2 Skidoos.
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
So yeah, there he is there, and then he actually shows me his minus 29 degree Fahrenheit where he is. That's what he's saying. It's cold in Canada here for sure.
Yeah.
Chris Watson, he's a weekly contributor. He says, "Hey, Gary and Drew, the trails around the house open this weekend. So away we went. A great day and a great first ride, followed by a little food and a little booze."
Awesome.
And, Chris Watson does it right. And he's part of the Do Crew too. So look at this.
Yeah, sweet. That's awesome. They had a great ride.
Yeah, he has a good gang. They go out with their wives and everything, and you can see they're in 2 up seats and stuff.
Yeah.
The trails are looking good there.
No, I guess.
Quebec.
Gosh, I'm ready.
Yeah. So that's Quebec. Do you ride Quebec? Like, you're that area, right?
I'm gonna be riding in Quebec here shortly. I'm super excited.
Cool.
Yeah.
And there's Chris down the bottom left above his name there, and then his gang there having some beverages after the ride. This is some of his food choices as well. It's pretty cool. They eat well. Like
I guess.
We're gonna get together with Chris one day. The Brat Pack's gonna meet up with the LaCroix Snow Chase. He calls himself LaCroix Snow Chasers. So we'll get in there and we'll have a good time for sure.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. There's an après event, après wine. But look at the feast, man. It's like like Thanksgiving every day at Chris Watson's place.
That's cool.
Yeah. Massart says another great weekend in the UP. Can't wait to have all the collection out this Saturday on the Townsend Flowage. He's got 24 plus sleds.
Wow.
And none are newer than 1999. So
that's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah. And he's got Lynxy there in the second sled. I love that. I can't wait to see that.
Hold on, Dad. You put his name as Master 850 NA. Is this a poke at Corey Brock for putting 850 XRS behind his Instagram name? Turbo. I'm sorry, 850 Turbo.
So Massart's got that thing, the head planed on it. He's got a Jaws.
The
pipe,
TKI belt kit in it.
Yeah.
He swapped the chain case for a belt kit.
Yeah,
the belt drive. There's going to be a few grudge races at Lodge Sessions this year.
My backcountry XRS Turbo this year is about as far from stock as you can get. So I can appreciate his love for horsepower.
That's awesome. Your Mach Z was done up too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had a 240 Hurricane kit in it. I actually had $36,000 wrapped up in that sled. Yeah, she was. It was definitely fast, one of a kind. Yeah.
You just sold that last year too. You kept it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty wild. Yeah, and don't forget, send in your fan photos at fanphoto@mudbrats.com. And it's we'll show them on the show. Don't be shy. It's always a good time. So now we're John's.
That's me and my buddy Scott. We're up in Madawaska, Maine, which is right on the other side of the St. John River. And that was a couple seasons ago, but that's how much snow we had. And he is 5'8", and he's got his arm fully extended. So that was a good winter.
That is wild. Was that a drift or is that like actual snowfall depth?
That's actual snowfall depth there.
Wow.
Yeah, that part of Maine usually gets pummeled with snow. And it's like right now this year, I think they've got around 6 inches on the ground. So
jeez, wow.
It's so hard to look at that and yeah, it is heartbreaking for the riders that, are just die hard, love the sport, want to be on the sled. I mean, there's a couple spots that are open here and there, but being able to get to food, fuel, lodging, different destinations other than just trailering here, riding for the day, come back, get back in the trailer, drive back,
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing. It's like, are they expecting a good winter, or is this something that they don't really know about? Like,
I mean, we're supposed to have a great winter this winter, and supposedly it's coming, but we're going to be into February here in another 2 weeks, so something needs to happen fairly soon.
When does it typically get going there?
Usually December. I mean, usually December, it's cranking there. And January, I'm usually riding the whole month of January, February, March. So, yeah, it's super disappointing right now. But I'm holding hope and optimism that we still got some good snow coming. So,
yeah, that's insane. I love this picture, man.
That was so I'll tell you, I was the first person to bring a manufacturer from out west to come do a photo shoot here in the Northeast. And we went to the Loring Air Force Base in Maine and rode Caribou, Limestone, and that's actually Tubi Gear. Came out and they did a huge thing for Veterans Day on my dad and snowmobiling. And then they came out for the next 3 days and we did drone video and photo shoot. It was just an amazing time with some truly amazing people from out west.
Yeah, Tubi was on the show a couple of years ago. Great company.
Yeah.
This is on the bucket list.
Yeah, that's the trains. So
Yeah,
everybody, yeah. I usually get there 3 or 4 times a year. I've been there so many times. There's 3 or 4 different ways you can go to appreciate that, but there's a lot of other parts to that other than just that train. There's the tramway. There's a bunch of cool. It's really a super awesome site, man. And to get to it, it's super scenic and just a great ride.
And just for people who are just tuning in or have not heard about this, do you want to shed some background on it?
So these are the trains. So these are trains that were left out in the woods. These are still the full trains, the tracks where the trains had physically stopped. You still have the tramway there. They used to haul logs. Everything was all, wood out of the great North Woods. So they used to haul a ton of logs. And that's where it all ended, basically. And that's where they sit and that's where they stay. And you can go right up in the trains, get right up inside them and walk all over them and check them out. And it's still super cool that these have been sitting out in the woods for decades. And they're still it's almost like they could be fired up and used. You know what I mean? They're still in that shape. Like it's just phenomenal that stuff from back then is still in that condition.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I heard that when the logging industry quit, like basically went out of business or whatever, it was more expensive to move the trains back. So they just left them. Is that kind of how that goes? Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. I love running into things like this. That's definitely a gem.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a fun spot for everybody to try to go visit every year.
How many miles from like the nearest town, I guess it would be, or where you'd go and stage from, would this be?
Oh, you're gonna be. It's a full day ride out there and back. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and you got to plan your spots, your fuel, to make sure that you're going to have enough fuel to make it there and back, because some of the lakes that you have to ride to get to the trains, depending on how the lakes are, you could burn a whole tank of fuel and a tank of oil on 2 lakes. It can be pretty nuts. And then if you're out there in a snowstorm and it's like a blizzard over the lake and you can't see which way you're going, it's quite a challenge. But it's if the weather's good and you've got everything mapped out well and you're carrying fuel, you'll have no trouble at all. A lot of people go out there and they'll bring food with them. They'll start a fire, cook food. Bunch of people will hang out there. Then everybody takes off and heads back.
That's pretty cool. Love that. This is from 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, that's up in Madawaska, overlooking the St. John there, looking at Canada on the other side, on top of one of the mountains. Yeah.
Right on. And what's this sled? Is it just an MXZ?
No, that's a backcountry XRS that I totally did. Yeah, that's a Deviant Inc. custom wrap on that as well, and yeah.
Right on. Looks good. You got the wheel kit on the back as well.
Oh yeah. You got to have a little bling.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. What do you prefer for tracks? Like, does it depend on what sled you're talking?
Yeah. So like one of my favorite tracks is the 1.75 Hurricane with 300 SS32R I-grip screw and studs. That setup is just absolutely mind-boggling. It really is. But for this year, the track to have this year, if you're a fast trail rider looking for great traction, want to keep the weight down, the new Ice Arrowhead 130 is a phenomenal track for 2025.
It looks cool. Seen one at Energy's open house there. The Campso rep was in, and he had a section of that track there. It's pretty wicked looking.
It is. It is. It's a nasty track.
Are you putting it on one of yours this year?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. I told the wife I think I'm gonna order one and put it on my backcountry and I got a Storm on it right now, but I think I'm gonna go that route too and try it out.
Yeah. I'm interested in the feedback on that too. So the LJE Blizzard Buster. Why do we got a picture of that, John Gibbs?
Because we're gonna do a giveaway tonight, and I'm also gonna. We'll throw in a Skidoo beanie as well.
Cool.
So you'll get that as well. And we're going to do a giveaway. So we'll give away the hat and the Blizzard Buster, color changing from LJE Products. Len's a great dude. He lives about 30 minutes from me, and him and I converse quite a bit and talk about a lot of things, and he's got a lot of neat things up his sleeve. I call him the mad scientist because he's always working on something.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Denon says, "Oh my God, giveaway!"
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we had Len on the show a couple weeks ago, and everybody was asking for the coupon code. So there is a MUDBRATS. If you use MUDBRATS on their store, if you want to buy something from LJE Products, you get 25% off. And but here you're going to win the light. So it's pretty cool. Drew and I have been riding with him the last couple rides, and I put one on right after the show, and it's pretty cool. And
yeah.
I ride with green on the back of mine, and Drew is using Skidoo yellow on his. And the thing is, when you set that color, it remembers. You shut your sled off, you don't have to worry about turning your color back on. So if you want to ride with pink or purple or green or blue or red or whatever it is, whatever you set that on, it's that color until you decide to change it down the road. And they're super bright. Like Drew and I were laughing last night coming home because it's like we can't wait to get up north when it's that pitch dark night. I swear those will light up the trail in the color you've got it on.
Yeah.
Very cool. So how does someone get a chance to win one of these things?
So how do you want to do it? You want to ask
This is well planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
we were gonna do a trivia question is how we were gonna do it. Oh, so we can either do it. We got two ways of doing it. We can do a trivia question, or we can go through however many subscribers or whatnot are on right now, and we can pick a number between.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to do. There's 52 people in the chat right now. It's kind of hard to do that. So let's do a trivia, and basically the first person with the right answer gets it. Now there is a delay. So if you say, "Oh, I answered first," it's the first person that Drew. You got the chat open?
Yeah, I got it. I actually have YouTube open, so I'll call it. Like I have the actual.
Okay,
My YouTube chat will be exactly lined up with what everyone else sees.
Yeah. Okay. So the YouTube chat, when Drew sees the first right answer.
I don't even know what the question is. So this is just
So, but we'll do the question. The first right answer gets it. So if we actually miss the first right answer and we go back,
can you text me the correct answer to the question so I know what I'm looking for?
I don't know what the question is, but we'll find the right answer. Like John will know.
Corey Jinx color is a Skidoo?
Oh my gosh!
Corey Jinx says, "What's the answer, Skidoo? Did he win? Oh no!" Okay, so John's going to throw the question out. And
oh my gosh, I haven't thought of one yet. Oh no!
You want to take a few minutes to think of one?
Yeah,
it can't be something that it can't be easy.
Yeah, I know. That's just it.
And my chat is smart, so you can't use anything like ski dog or anything like that. We need something really, How about this? And you might know the answer to this. But Jinx is disqualified. Yeah, Jinx isn't connected with LJE Products, so he has every right to win.
Yeah, he could. I'll bring him one, so he doesn't. He doesn't have to worry. I'll bring him one.
Now for everybody in the chat who is coming to our group ride in Sudbury, we will have LJE Products Blizzard Busters definitely as prizes for that weekend. So if you miss out today, come to the group ride. We'll have them for the poker run prizes.
Yeah, unless we use them all by then.
I already used one of them. I took one out of the guilty as charged. I took one from the giveaway pile to put on my helmet.
Yeah, for sure. Drew goes, "You got any more of those Blizzard Busters?" I go, "Yeah, there's some in the box there." And next thing you know, he's got it on his helmet. "This is pretty cool," he says. So anyway, I've got a. I don't know if I've got a trivia question. Drew, do you have a trivia question?
I've been trying to think, but
I know that's just it.
Okay, so
do you want to text it to me first, Dad, and get my opinion on it?
Okay.
Because if I don't know the answer to it, then I think it might be a good question.
How about we could play Stump the Chump, and we could have the chat ask John Gibbs questions, and if he gets an answer wrong, they win the prize.
So the reverse of it?
You want to do that?
Oh, my God. Oh my gosh. Make me look like the bad guy.
Okay, hold on. I was thinking, so where's Drew's thing? I don't think I've got your text on this phone, Drew. Here, I'll text you through here. Hold on. I've got here. This is engaging content right now, okay, so here, Drew, here, I was thinking this.
Some of our viewers went up 4 since you started this really.
Yeah, we're gonna have that. We're gonna have that. What do you think of that question?
Okay.
Is that a good one? You want to go
There's
harder
a few
than
people
that?
in the chat that are going to know that right away, and it won't even stump them because they're going to know. There'll be people that'll say one of the answers, but then the other. Can I send my question in French?
I definitely won't be able to read that.
If you send it in French, Chris Watson, Denon is going to disqualify you right away after his experience in Quebec on the weekend.
No, he just learned at a Denon just
okay.
learned French.
John Gibbs, do you know any unique models of Skidoo, even old ones that you can? Okay, here's a question: what year did Motoski exit the market?
Ooh.
Do you know the answer to that, John Gibbs? I think ask me a question John Gibbs knows the answer to. That would be hard.
Do you even know the answer to that question?
I don't. I don't.
It was 1970 something.
Okay, that 1984. Don Maloney says
was it 84? I knew it was either late 70s or early 80s. Yeah.
No, I had an 85 Skidoo Motoski Mirage 3.
Yep, that's right.
It was after 85. I want to say maybe it was 85. It wasn't 78, wasn't 82. Can you Google it, Drew, and see what the answer is?
What the last Motoski Mirage was? Yeah, I'll see if I can.
No, what the last Motoski Snowmobile, when did it exit the market? Okay. When did BRP? I think it's probably 85, 86. In North America, too.
Okay.
Yeah, throwing sparks might have it. I think he wins every time, actually. He's a smart dude. Yes. I don't know about the guy that said 71. Denon is a smart dude, but I think 71's a little. What does it say, Drew?
I'm gonna say based off what I can find that the last year was 86, but I can't confirm that because there's nothing that black and white says it. Skidoo bought them in 75, but kept the Motoski name around.
Okay, that's what it
86,
was.
86, you can find model year information. 87 doesn't seem like there's any models.
Uncle Buck was thinking that. Jinx says 84.5. Okay, we're gonna. How about we give it to Throwing Sparks for the win?
What did he
say? I own an 85. So
yeah, but there's definitely them in 86 though, Dad. So that's not the correct answer to the question.
Also, Motorsports.
Maybe also, actually.
Yeah, he just.
He might be right. 85 might be right.
Is 85 right? See if you can find an 86.
Because 80. Yeah, hold on. It seems this article is talking about the 85 though. That doesn't seem right.
The last year production was 85 throwing.
Yeah, 85. Yeah. In 86, it switched to Formula SP. It used the same chassis, but was not classified as a moto ski.
Yep.
There we go. Throwing Sparks. Send me an email, buddy. fanphoto@mudbrats.com, and I'll get your information to Gibbsy, and you're going to be sporting a Blizzard Buster and a new toque too. So awesome.
Sweet. We're also going to, on Skidoo Lynx Owners Club, we've got some giveaways going right now as well. We've got a sport link bag from Skidoo going on right now for a giveaway that runs until Wednesday. And then when that giveaway is over, we're going to be doing one of these. We're going to be doing one of these.
Kelly had it first. Hold on.
Did I win that, John? You're going to send me that just for being on the show? Thank you.
Hey, Dad, someone else had 1985 first, by the way. It wasn't Throwing Sparks. It was Kelly Maloney.
Okay, Kelly
Maloney. He was the very second. Dawn said 84, and then Kelly said 85 right off the bat.
Okay, Kelly Maloney is the actual winner. Sorry, Throwing Sparks. I did say we were going to go back and find the first person on YouTube that commented. So Kelly Maloney, send me an email, fanphoto@mudbrats.com.
Yep, have Dennis still get the other guy's address, and I'll send him something.
Okay, for sure. Throwing Sparks too. Send it off. Kelly's the grand prize winner, and throwing Sparks. John Gibbs is going to send you something. Maybe it's a signed autograph of John Gibbs.
No, I'm nobody special, my friend.
so for the rest of the chat, if you want to feel that maybe my dad was degrading your smarts. His original question he thought would have been good was, what year did the XRS come out? I just want to see what do people say is actually the first year. People should. I know Massart it just jumped and hit the four numbers right away.
One of the questions I was going to ask was what was the first year of the backcountry XRS?
Oh, that's another good one. Yeah, see, people would have had XRS really quick, I think.
What year is it, Drew?
It's 07. 07. Because in 06 it was XPS, wasn't it? It wasn't actually considered XRS. It was called the XPS or something.
And what about
maybe there was an
John's
XRS
question there? John, what was your question? What year did the backcountry come out? What was
the backcountry XRS?
2017? No, 2017. 50. It was 19, wasn't it?
I think it was 20.
Really? Oh, okay.
There we go. So we learn something new every time. See, this is not just a show with photos. You actually learn something. We're making people smarter.
Yeah. And then there's the question of when did the first backcountry come out? Just the regular backcountry.
I think somebody just already said 2015 for that.
Yeah.
Which I believe is right for backcountry.
Yeah.
We're getting lots of questions for the next giveaway down the road. So we'll see. But this picture here is awesome. Is this Maine?
Yes, this is. This is if I was back probably 30 yards, that trail you can see. I mean, as far as your eyes will look, it's basically, what do they call it? Something mile, a motor mile or something like that, because it'll eat the motor up if it's just beautiful, hilly whoops, just beautiful straight all ride, and man, the scenery is just phenomenal. That's one of my favorite trails and spots in the state of Maine.
Do you have speed limits there?
No, that's a Renegade X, and I take every advantage of no speed limits. I will say I am guilty.
That's pretty cool. What is there ever any issues with speed, injuries, accidents, that type of thing, or is it pretty good because everybody kind of respects it? I will say the most generally the accidents that happen, as much as I hate to say it, come from rental sleds. People that have never ridden before, and some of these rental companies will just put anybody on a machine, and it's a little scary. That, and the other thing is drinking and riding more than anything as far as speed related. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I can imagine that's a huge issue. Yeah. No, that's a great. I've seen the pictures on your Facebook group before. It's pretty cool. So this is another thing that's dear to your heart is the veterans ride. Talk to us about that.
This is a backwoods veterans ride that we do at Piston Farms, which is in the Great North Woods of Maine. It happens every year. This year it's happening February 20th to the 23rd. And what we do is we bring veterans in. We provide them with snowmobiles, gear, lodging, food. We pay for their whole weekend, 3 days with us. And we provide them with, it's basically PTSD to help them alleviate, get them out in the outdoors, show them what snowmobiling's about, get their mind off things that bother them all the time, and get them out. And I'll tell you, it's truly a heartwarming, just amazing experience. Skidoo has been a huge sponsor of this. Tubi's been a huge sponsor of this. I bring in a lot of sponsors and money as well for this cause and to help the vets. It's my father's a veteran, so this is something that's very important to me, and it's just another way of giving back to the sport.
That's awesome. How many people come out to that event?
Holy, I want to say last year I bet we had 100. When we're all outside at like 7 o'clock in the morning and the flag's flying and they do the national anthem, it makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. It's dead silence, and it's truly something. I'll tell you.
Very cool. Is it all vintage sleds too, or is it?
Nope. It's all different kinds of sleds. There's some folks there that have some vintage, but generally we've got all different kinds of sleds, models, brands. There's tons of people that come and support. And one day we do a ride to the Jackman, Maine clubhouse, and they serve us this huge spaghetti feed with dessert and everything else. The next day we ride out to Car Pond, which is a private place way out. And we do a bonfire, and we have food right out there on the trail. They come out and serve us food. I mean, it's a super cool event. When we get back that night, we do a humongous fireworks show. We also have a live auction going on the whole time. It's just really super fun event.
I love that. And you raise money for them, or is it just a recognition thing?
No, we raise money for them. We raise money for the vets as well. So
typically, how much do you see every year, or what's the goal?
Gosh, I want to say I bet we do between probably 15 and 20,000. I would imagine somewhere in that vicinity. I would think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is this part of the ride as well?
Yep. That's some of us all on the side of the trail.
Very cool. And what weekend are you doing that this year?
February 20th through the 23rd.
Nice. Ron Castellucci says amazing tribute and recognition for the vets.
Yeah, it certainly is. Thank you.
No, thank you for doing that. That's amazing. This is great. You're standing up on a rock that says "Keep Maine Beautiful" with a painting on it of a bear and a river.
Yeah, this is on the state road in Baxter State Park, which is where Mount Katahdin is. So they call that the state road, and that's the famous painted rock. And everybody gets up on the rock and they take photos, and you can see that trail goes on. That's nice and flat and fast for quite a ways. So that's awesome. It's a super cool, fun spot, man. Everybody likes to hang out there. It's just a neat, one of those cool visiting places to go see.
What's that mountain in the background straight ahead? So
Mount Katahdin is right off to the right of us, just a little bit. So I think that's part of the ends of Mount Katahdin there.
Oh, cool. Brad says great trail from Allagash to Escort Station.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Neato. And then here you are with the honorable Donald Trump. I love it.
Oh goodness, yeah, they had this sign up Everybody stops and takes a picture. He looks real. I mean, you can't even, it's hard to tell that it's just a cutout, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
oh gosh, it rubs people the wrong way, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe this is a real photo of Donald Trump and he's posing with a cutout of John Gibbs.
Yeah, it could be, I guess.
I just think it's awesome how the US does this with Trump and any of your presidents, really. Like at heydays, Drew and I were laughing because you'd never do this with a cutout of Trudeau. You'd probably get carried off and beaten, right? Whether you love Trump or hate him, this is so cool. Like at heydays, it was like so many things. Like this sled was once owned by Donald Trump, or I had my video, the log splitter with Trump, and it has Harris's picture, you know, on the ram end, right? And you know, like it's pretty cool. And then when we walked in, there was the mannequin of Trump with the bleeding ear and everything sitting in the chair. It's like, I love it. I think that it's so awesome that you can make fun of the politics like that, right? We don't do that enough here, you know?
Yeah.
Motorsport Channel said if it was us, it would be vandalized graffiti all over his face, you know? But,
We gotta have freedom and freedom of speech, you know, whether it's, you just gotta have it.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I laughed when I seen that picture, so I thought that's exactly, you know, the heydays thing. And, you know, we have our friends Mass Art and Wisco and all those guys, like we had laughs talking about the politics and everything like that.
This here was part of our New England Sled Talk crew getting ready for the New Hampshire Snowmobile Show, which is the second biggest snowmobile show in the United States. It's called Race into Winter. It happens in Fremont, New Hampshire. Runs Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have watercross, water drags, grass drags. All the major vendors are there. Hundreds of aftermarket vendors. We have a huge swap meet. It's like heydays, but it's on a smaller scale. It's not as spread out, but we still get between 37 and 45,000 people that come out to this event. So it's a massive event.
That is
kind of kicks off. Yeah, kicks off winter for us. This one guy right over here that's Sylvain Laflemme from Canada on the, well, it would be my right all the way your left probably.
Yeah, right on. Perfect. Yeah, it's very foreground there with the coffee cup, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
And that's like a mini heydays, is it? Or is it just
basically it's the same thing. Mini heydays. Ravex comes and they also put on an amazing show where they're flipping sleds and, you know, doing trick stuff with the sleds on the bags and stuff. Super cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great time. It really is.
Yeah. And this is the new Disney movie coming out in 2026 in theaters near you.
That's feeding the Gray Jays on top of Coburn Mountain. Yeah. Nice. They'll come right down, eat right out of your hands, eat off your head, whatever. They're super tame, cool birds.
You said they're Gray Jays. Is it like a blue jay, but it's gray? Is that
that's just what that's just what I've always known to be called. They call them Gray Jays. I guess it kind of does look like a blue jay a little bit, but it's a gray bird. But they're so tame and friendly. They love like nuts and crackers, and they'll come right down. They'll land right in your hand, and they'll eat it, and then they'll fly off, and they'll come back, and it's super cool.
That's very neat. How many is there? Like when you go there, are they all swarming around you? And
there's quite a few. Yeah, they're all around. Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Some of the neat things you get to do on a sled. This was at heydays. So this little young girl here, that's Sunshine. I don't know if many people know her, but she's come a long way. She's had a tough life, and just a truly inspiring kid. I've never seen a kid give back as much as she does. And what we did is Deviant Inc. and she had gotten a brand new cat. What do they call those? The kids' cats there, not the small ones, but the mid-sized ones.
Oh, okay, I got you. Right, like almost like a Skidoo Neo, but it's
yeah. So she got one of those, and we wound up giving her a wrap, and so we presented it to her at Heydays, and she had no idea or anything, so she thought she was the coolest. She's just a super sweetheart, just a young kid, loves snowmobiling, loves to give back, and we wanted to do something nice for her, something good for her, and
right on. You could have got her a Skidoo hat.
Yeah, I know, huh?
Yeah. Good kid makes bad choices.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Like, I love that you're giving back to the community, and like we said, it's the young people. You got to keep them engaged in the sport, no matter what brand they're riding, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, she's got a voice. Even at her age, she already has such a big voice and stuff. So if she can spread the snowmobiling word and get more young girls and involved in the sport, hey, that's a win.
That's pretty cool. So what was her name, or does she have social media channels?
Yeah, she does. They call her name is Sunshine O'Keefe is her name, and you can find her on social media. You can look her up as Sunshine, and it will come up.
Right on. That's awesome.
Awesome. That's at Heydays as well. That's John Ferrian from John Ferrian Large.
Yep. Right on.
And, gosh, I don't know who that other one is. I'm not sure. Gosh, there's so many people that you get to Heydays, and so many people want to come say hi and meet and stuff. It's Heydays, as you know, is just an amazing experience. I urge everybody to try to go to Heydays at least once in your life to experience what that event is all about. It is just truly an amazing event. Everybody that is anybody in the snowmobiling world is there. You can meet them, you can talk to them, you can get their autograph, you can have a conversation with them, you can ask them questions. It's just every manufacturer is there, every aftermarket company is there, every wrap company is there, everybody that is anybody in snowmobiling world is there, and it is truly a great time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Unless you get so busy and you can't talk to John Gibbs at the show.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was standing right behind you.
That's funny. You just smack me upside the head next time.
You guys were looking at the front end, the new front end. Yeah.
No, we came, we saw, it was good. It was a good crew we had out there. We had 10 of us, I think, at the show. So it was pretty cool. A lot of fun. Definitely on the list again for 2025 for sure. Yeah. But yeah, it's a good event. And that to me could be the kickoff of winter,
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the Mach.
You
say Mach Z, right?
Yeah, I call it Mach Z, but some people call it Mach Z. Yeah, I guess. But
Yep, for sure.
That was a one-of-a-kind custom wrap that Deviant Inc. did for that sled. I had the backwards BMP bumpers. I had a guy that I found that could match the gold that was on the sled and in the wrap to the bumpers on the powder. So they did that to the front and rear bumpers. There's so much in that sled, so much money and time.
And you said 240 or 250 horsepower?
Yeah, 200. It was a 240 horse Hurricane built sled, 207 POWERSPORTS. Garrett Sands built it. Did a tremendous job on it. Sled was just super fast. I mean, has
a new owner rode it? Has a new owner rode it yet?
Yeah, they actually posted a video, and almost the video I saw, they had it in launch mode, and it's got 196 Woody's gold triggers in it, and the thing pretty much went right over backwards. The guy fell off. It was pretty funny, I must say. But
That is
the
hilarious.
sled was okay, but you know, people sometimes just shouldn't buy things that have that much horsepower, I guess.
The sled was okay, but his ego was not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got that
right.
right. I think he was a little hurt, but yeah, it was it's quite a fun sled. It's fun to be able to do that. That's the stuff that I like to do. Honestly, I love the whole designing, thinking about what I'm going to do, how I want the wrap to be, the colors I want. It's the fun part of doing it every year and building out the sled how you want it.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. That's the thing, sourcing all the parts and talking to all the specialists like Hurricane Dave and
Yeah.
everything, you know,
Yeah.
that's going to keep neat.
Yeah, that's that heydays there. That was for the Mach Z release when the Mach Z first came out
Yeah.
in 2022, and that was a great time. Yeah,
That's good. Yeah, that was quite the release. I mean, they sold a lot of units, and now you see people starting to sell them. And I don't know whether it's just they want to move on to the 850 turbo or what their thoughts are, but there's quite a few of them out there right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people thought that they were going to hold their value because it was a 1-year sled. I think a lot of people thought that they were just going to increase. There's a couple I think that are posted on Marketplace that are. One guy's got one still in a crate, still in the crate in his garage, and I think he's got it listed for 18,000 in the crate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
wow.
you know, it unfortunately with snowmobiles, like, you know, they just don't. Some of the mod stuff, some of the racing stuff, some of the one-off stuff that was done here and there, those things hold their value real well. But as far as, you know, they're like anything else, you know, it's gets older, a couple years older, it's going to lose its value no matter what. So
yeah, it's like saying I'm going to buy the newest iPhone and keep it in the box and not open it and sell it for more
right.
right?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
So
right.
there's always something like Skidoo will raise the bar, and then the gauge was amazing when it came out, that 7.8 panoramic, and 10 1/4 makes it look like the iPhone 4.
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly does. That's for sure.
Yeah.
This there was at one of our clubhouses,
Right.
That we have events at and stuff. We had stopped in on the weekend. It looked cool the way the snow was falling that day with the sled. We had a great ride. I think that was a 260-mile day, if I remember right. Trails were phenomenal. Just a blast.
Right on. Bam Custom says it looks lowered in the front. Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I had dual rate springs on the front from Accelerated. He's a pretty smart fella, I'll tell you. That guy.
Oh, he is. We've got 2 episodes with him, and they're our top producer for sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's super smart. He's invested a lot of time, a lot of technology into a niche that nobody had really gone that deep or that far into. And I think he's opened up a lot of cool things for riders, honestly.
Oh, for sure. Even like I was talking to that guy Kevin we met at the clubhouse yesterday. He watches our podcasts and stuff and says how he loves the Accelerated Technology show, and I said just reach out to him and talk to him, because he's not all about, he has Elka, but he's not all about Elka. If you don't have the budget for that, he will show you what you can do with your budget on the sled that you've got, right?
Oh, yeah. He's not trying to shove the most expensive thing down your throat, or you need the best of the best. No, that's not it at all. No. Yeah.
He's all into it on what you need and what you know, get away with the bare minimum, and then you can grow it if you want, right? Like it's pretty neat. But definitely you're right. He's a smart cookie, man. There's no one else like him. So yeah.
That was my first night ride with the 10.25 gauge. And night rides to me that's what I live for right there, buddy. I love night riding. Absolutely love it. I just can't get enough of it.
In deep forest area like this, it's awesome. Like that's the thing up north where there isn't much scenery to see. But when you're in an area like the mountains, like your main shot with the rock, I love going through that in the daylight when you can see the the terrain miles
Oh,
ahead.
yeah.
And that thing, right? Like night ride is great because especially if you're talking about no speed limit, you're flying along, you want to see what's coming in front of you, and at night you can, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to, you can tell when somebody else is coming. You can tell when they're coming around the corner or if they're way out on the straightaway because you can see the headlights. So you can prepare if you know what I mean. To me, it's so much safer. There isn't as many people on the trail either. And generally we can get around pretty quick at night, and I just love it. I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, Denon says he'd argue it's safer in many ways. You can see groomers, that's key, right? We've come across groomers in the daytime, and it's been one of those pucker moments,
Yes.
Yeah, I almost racked up a 50 edition and became part of the groomer the one year. and then I still racked up that 50 edition regardless of there being groomers.
So but it wasn't like you were driving like an idiot. It was just a corner you come around and he was there.
Right.
Like when we weren't even going that fast, So it's more scary than anything else. And at night you can see those flashing lights on them for miles. This
is the Pine Tree Camp Ride for Kids. This is one of my best friends. This is Maine State Game Warden Jonathan Parker. Cool. He is one of the funniest men I've ever met in my life. He is just a super awesome game warden. He is just the coolest guy ever. But that Pine Tree Camp Ride for Kids is what it is you raise money, and for every dollar you raise, they put a real egg in your suit. And so one year I raised, almost $10,000. So my whole suit was packed full of eggs. So by the time you get back from the ride, you're just covered in egg. It's super cool, man. It's a super good time. It's a super great cause. What it is we're sending kids to camp, but it's not just any kids. These are disabled kids. These are special needs kids. These are kids that want to experience the same things that we do on a regular basis that maybe we take for granted, and it's about helping them kids and take some of the burden off the parents by raising some money. I was able to send 9 kids to camp that one year for that. It is a more expensive type of camp because of the care that the kids need, whereas they're disabled. So it's really a great thing, a great event. This year I did not do it, just for the simple fact that all of my sponsors and basically all of the sponsors in the snowmobiling industry right now are hurting because of lack of snow, lack of sales, whatnot. And I just don't feel right asking people for money when things are down. So that's just the reason why I didn't do it for this year. It's just hard to go asking people for money when it's a tough time.
Yeah, right. Well, what a great cause, man. Hopefully you can get back into that one time. And it looks like Dave Neroni even sent you his hat.
Yeah. I did that. I've done that for 3 years, and I'll definitely get back into it once we can, get some more snow. It was hard to pull off. The rides had to get cut down because we didn't have much snow. So instead of doing a 4-hour ride, it may have turned into a half-hour, 45-minute ride. So it's a lot of time and investment and everything to not be able to do the whole thing,
Yeah.
But it's still it's a great thing. It's a great cause, and I love giving back to the community and the snowmobile community, and anything we can do to give exposure and help that out. I'm all for it.
Very cool. Yeah, that's great.
That's me and my brother on our '69 Olympic.
That's wicked. Do you guys still own that by chance? I was wondering.
No, I wish we did. I'm actually me and my older brother were talking a couple weeks ago, and we'd like to get one and restore it back if it isn't perfect, and restore it back. And it's just one of those things, the came right out, right there. You used to have to squirt the gas in it to keep them going. You know, it was good times. But we would ride that thing till the friggin' gas ran out, and Dad would run down and get more gas, and we'd ride it till the gas ran out.
That's wicked. Do you remember what engine was that? Was that one of the what were they, 12.3s or?
Yeah, I think it was. I think my dad said it was a 12 horse. I think you're right. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is very
back
cool.
then, I mean, we thought that thing was so fast back then when we were kids. We're like, man, this thing is awesome. It's so fast.
12 horsepower. You know, your old turbo mock would use 12 horsepower just to start it.
But yeah, man, it's awesome looking back at those times, and it's like, man, that's where it all started, you know? I mean, it's like that's where the love started. You know, our dad got us into it at such a young age, and we just took off. We made homemade go-karts, we made homemade dune buggies. I mean, we used to anything with a motor. Once you get addicted to that, it just keeps multiplying, and you can't get enough.
Yeah. So maybe that's the thing. Skidoo should come out with a line of sleds like this with the carbs you got to squirt gas in, and because that's the memories I have as well.
Oh yeah.
Anyone our age says the same thing. You ride along, your scarf gets sucked in the carburetor, it goes, whoa, the scarf's in there, and you pull it out again. You know, it's like, maybe that's the thing. These little MXZ 200s and 120s are too refined.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I know. It is.
You gotta dial it back and come out with a replica of this that's actually carbureted.
Yeah,
and you have to squirt gas in it to get it going.
Yeah, I'm sure the EPA would love that.
Oh, yeah. I know. But the fun factor of that was off the charts. It literally,
because the handling was off the charts. I mean, you're tipping over, and you know,
So, good times.
Yeah, very cool.
Motorsport Channel says, "Can you imagine paying 15 grand for one of those?"
Oh man,
people will be paying 15 grand. They're gonna come out with that then.
Yeah.
The Skidoo kid sleds are only like 7,000, so you could come out with one of those for 5 or 6, and laughing the bogies, the new bogies.
Imagine how cheap it would be to make a 12.3 horsepower engine. You can order those on
Temu, right?
I'm pretty sure at the moment.
Yeah, and you could have smart bogies. You know, It monitors each bogey wheel one time every 60 seconds. You know. Yeah.
This is headed up Coburn Mountain, and this was on, I believe, the backside we had got on, and this was one day that I've just saved this picture forever. It something about it, I don't know, just grabs me. I guess it. I don't know, man. It's just something about that. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I love winter. I work hard all year, and I look forward to winter very much. I enjoy my time on the sled and out on the trails and meeting people and chatting with them, and it's just a great time.
That's wild. And this is proof for all you flat earthers out there that the earth is round too. Isn't that right? So there's sled trail through this forest?
Oh, well, there is, but it's pretty much, there's one way up the mountain, and then you have 2 ways you can come down, but that's pretty much it. Everybody gets up to the top, and I think there's some other pictures where we're at the very top, where we're
there is pictures coming out of that.
Yeah.
Ron Shepley said, talking about your sled, he said the pipe would glow at night. The motor was in your lap. It's true.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They can do that again. They can make it. Actually, the turbo is, BAM Customs was saying his turbo glows red. Like,
the 900s do. Yeah,
the 900. He said you pull the cover off, and it's like you can look in the vents, and he said it'd just be like glowing red.
Yeah.
I said, imagine what Galita's turbo looks like. He's got 240 horse or something on his, and it's like it must be just like bright red.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool when you shut them down at night when it's still glowing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he said that looks like Mount Valin in Quebec. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the top. So that's where this is. So what was the name of this mountain?
This is Colburn Mountain.
Colburn
Yep.
Mountain. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
Somebody
Yep.
sent pictures into this before, but I didn't really know where it is. So that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's one of there's a fire tower that you can't see that's back, that's all steel that you can climb. And once you get to the top of the tower, I mean, it's wow. It's as far as the eyes, as far as you can see 360 degrees at the top of that mountain. It's phenomenal.
That's great. What is that shed that's up there? Is that a communication?
I think it's their weather. It's some sort of a weather type station type thing that they have use up there. I've never personally seen anybody up there in there doing stuff, but I'm sure they do.
They probably do it in the summer though.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking. Yeah. Super cool spot. Another one of the big spots that everybody wants to get to, like the trains. Yeah.
I love that. This is an older photo, is it? Like those sleds don't look new,
Yeah.
do they?
Yep. No, these are just photos I dug out that I've had that
cool.
Yeah.
You could tell the gear too, so this is neat. I was trying to figure out what this is. It's a nighttime shot.
Yeah.
It looks blooming cold.
That's Canada. So you can't see the river, but I'm standing in Madawaska, Maine, and then that's Canada on the other side. I think that's the mill that's letting off some steam in the background. But that's one of the cities on the other side of the St. John in Canada, and it looks so awesome lit up like that at night.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think I see Corey Jinks's house back there in the far right.
Yeah, it's just super sweet. It's just a cool spot. And then there's a cross right there that's lit up, that's out in the middle of nowhere. It's like, I think there's a picture of that too. Oh
yeah, you did show that. This is in Madawaska Mountain.
Yeah, this is in Madawaska, Maine. Yeah, that's at the tippy highest point of Maine. So if you were gonna cross over into Canada, we'd cross over through like Moose Valley and come up that way.
Wild. And is this one missing an arm?
No, you could. It is out on the other side. It's just the angle I think I was at taking the picture. But no, both arms are there. Yeah, it's like Jesus on the cross type thing.
Yeah, that's cool. That's wild, man.
Pretty neat stuff, man. It really is. This is on Bow Lake, way up at the tippy top of Maine in a different area, and there was like 30 of us that day, and we all went on a huge ride, and just a super friggin' great time, man.
That's awesome. Is that your XRS on the end there?
One of them.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love that year. I love the color of that.
Oh,
2018.
Yeah.
2018. You know, it's got the diagonal graphics like my sled, Dad.
Yeah.
MXZs and Renegades had them on an angle down the panels.
Yeah, that was a sweet looking sled for sure.
Yeah, I love the color. It's awesome. Guy I ran into on the trail, he trying to think of his name. It wasn't Eldon. I'm going to get it wrong. Anyway, watches the show. He had a really cool 600, a new one. It's a 2023, I think it is, or 2022, MXZ 600. It was all silver with a black hood. It looked really good.
Yeah.
He's an MXZX. Yeah. Pretty neat. Manta Green, the Motorsport channel says what that was. That's the same as he had too. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are cool.
I think he called it Christine because it was possessed. His. Yeah. There it is right in front of me here too.
Yeah, this is at Hughes Brook Lodge in Eagle Lake, Maine, is where we were here. I believe.
So you can stay there, or is it just
you can stay at Hughes Brook Lodge. Actually, no, this is Bow Lake too. This is a family cabin that is on the lake that gosh, I think this is what they say. It's the last cabin in Maine, I believe. I think that's what they
Really?
had said. Yeah,
You're the
yeah,
furthest cabin. That's cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you come right down onto the lake, and if you cross the lake and go over to the other side, you're in Canada.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We have some cool border cuts that are actually the border cut between Maine and Canada that a lot of the off trail guys ride that are super scenic.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah.
Like this looks like great snow too. Like it looks
Oh
like
yeah.
you got some good riding in here. And do you go out in big groups like this a lot, or is it?
No, I don't generally any more than 3 or 4. Generally, you're asking for trouble. That's just my own personal, not really trouble, but there's the one that won't keep up or can't keep up, or there's always something wrong with a sled, or they always need to stop, or you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, we like to stop and do that stuff too, but winter's short and I like to get miles on and get see scenery and do things,
Yeah, right. I hear you. Yeah, we were worried about that when we did the first lodge sessions. And there was a lot of people, and we took 22 out with us, but we were all had the same mentality as far as, and all late model sleds, so there really wasn't any issues with that, and
Right.
and had a great time. And it was like we were blown away. We didn't expect that we were all going to end up in the same place at the same time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, Dad, we also had the oldest sled there.
Yeah, that's true. We did. Yeah.
But if, like you said, if everybody's on the same page and has the same mindset, like we did here with these guys, it's a smooth ride. Everybody's having a great time. Everybody's having fun, and there's no issues.
Yeah.
It's not something I want to do every day, but I mean, we usually do it a couple times a year. We have these big rides, and it's a ton of fun. It's great to see everybody and have fun and have rides, all the laughs and food and everything.
Yeah. Here's something that I want to ask you, because I'm looking at these sleds and you got them all decked out. What is your favorite Lynx accessory, or what is the Lynx accessory that you think is tell me your favorite, but also tell me what you think is the most underrated that people should take a second look at?
Oh, I change a lot. Like everything. So, Link has so many valuable, like, cool accessories. It's I think E-Link is really cool. That's one of the cool ones. Definitely their bags. The bags that they have a bag for basically every type of trip that you want to take, which I think is super cool. Because if you're doing a big overnight trip, you can take the big bag. If you're doing, you know what I mean? If you're just going to do an 8-hour trip, you can take your trail seat bag and your sport bag. They always have some great configuration for you for whatever type of trip or ride you're going to do. So I think that is super cool that they offer so many different types of storage. Lighting, I think the LED lights are huge. The lights that they offer, especially, I don't know, you can never have enough lighting for safety, number one, but also if you like to night ride, that's another great thing.
Yeah, and Jinxie opened up a can of worms on social media this week with the signal light conversation, and I don't know whether it was on 705 Snowmobiles or whether it was on your channel as well.
It was posted to a few different ones, but I think it was Skidoo owners, and I reposted 705. But
what is that?
The accessories. I noticed you had the on the one sled you had the actual Link windshield, the adjustable windshield.
I love those. I'm a huge fan of the adjustable. Those things are phenomenal. So I'm not a huge fan of the wind hitting me right in my chin. Right? There's certain times or the way you're riding and whatnot, but sometimes the air just hits you right here. I don't like it. So basically, I run the medium to tall, and it is phenomenal. You can have it in medium all day while the temperatures are up and it's having fun. But as soon as the temperatures start to go down, you're starting to get below zero, you put it up to tall, and right now all of that air and all that wind is going right over your helmet. I didn't have to go buy 3 or 4 different windshields. I didn't have to. I got one windshield. And all I do is pick up a lever, slide it up, lock it down, and it's good to go. And then I can change it throughout the day. I mean, it is probably one of the best accessories I would say that they have, because it is so valuable. If you're somebody that gets cold, or if you're somebody that doesn't like the snow dust in your face or anything else, I mean, that it really is a great idea.
That's cool. Corey Brock asked, "What's your favorite helmet?"
Oh boy, I've got quite a few. I actually have over 20 helmets, so I'm kind of I like helmets. So
what about, so let's say it's trail riding, and let's say it's just your regular trail riding. You're out on the mock or whatever, and then what's your helmet for like backcountry riding where you're going to be, doing some off trail?
So I'll tell you my favorite helmets. My favorite helmets, the Oxygen Flow, the new with the Flow Shield. And if you have a previous Oxygen helmet, you can just go to your dealer and buy just the shield and change the shield. It takes 3 seconds to change the shield over. Super easy. I got one for both of my Oxygens, and awesome. So I absolutely, at the Oxygen Flow, it really is a great helmet. I run the carbon, so it's super light. And now being able to have the vented shield, I think that's a great, if you're riding in a lot of cold, doing a lot of the long trail rides, it's a great helmet. CKX Carbon Patriot, I have one of those. I also think that's a great helmet as well. I've had good luck with that.
Which one, the Mission or the
Mission, the Carbon Patriot? Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I like it. It's all about lightness. Especially, we do a lot of long rides, 200 to 300 mile rides, and the heavy helmets give you that cramp in your neck, almost like a Charlie horse after the long rides. And so I try to go with the lightest helmets I can. When it comes to motocross style, Skidoo, their XPX helmets that they used to make were phenomenal. I like those a lot, but they don't really make those anymore. They have the Pyra. I don't really. It's a cool helmet, but I can't really seem to get it to work the way I want it to work. So the Tubi T9, the brand new Tubi T9 and Tubi T7 helmets are pretty phenomenal. They're on another level. They're an open face helmet, but the goggles come molded to the helmet and everything. It's a one piece thing, super sweet. Really nice. But Skidoo's gonna have a bunch.
Have you ran the Advex?
I have not run the Advex, and the reason why I haven't, because it doesn't open. It's not an open face, so that's why I don't run the Advex. I like being able to, take the helmet up when we stop and stuff. I don't, you know what I mean? That's a nice feature, so you don't always have to take your helmet off, take your baklava off, and then put a hat on or whatever, and then put it all back on. That way you can at least just pull the front of your helmet up and you're good to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's cool. Cool concept. That's the thing. They've always got stuff. I'm sure they're coming out with more helmets this year too.
Oh yeah. There's supposed to be a lot of new stuff with the accessory and the link line this year. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of good stuff.
Right on. Yeah. So there's another shot of the trains there.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
Very cool. Yeah. I think that would be a neat trip.
Definitely. If you guys ever come down, that's one of the border cut trails I was telling you about. Super cool.
Is that a moose down in there?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten close to any of those, or what's the crazy
stuff? Oh yeah. I'll tell you a quick little story. So me, my uncle, and Charlie, rest his soul, he's dead now, passed away. But we all were riding together, and one night we were riding. We were heading back to camp. And we came across a moose in the middle of the trail. Well, this moose was not happy for whatever reason. He was just not happy. This is the first time I've ever run into a moose that was not happy. Well, my uncle wound up going through and getting in front of him, and Charlie and I were behind, in between. The moose was in between us. Well, this moose was so mad that he was running right up to the bumper of my sled. He put his nose, I'm crouched down on the side of my sled, hanging on to the handlebar, and I can hear the moose going right on the hood of my sled. So if you don't think I wasn't shitting my pants, I definitely was. And then he turns around and he runs right back up to my uncle and he does the same thing to him. And then he turns around and this went on for a good 40 minutes. We don't harass the moose. We don't bother them. We don't chase them. You got to let them. It's their home. It's their land. That's where they live.
They'll stomp on you.
Oh yeah, you don't mess with them. You let them do their thing. So we shut the machines off. You got to be patient. Let them do their thing. There's the people out there. Oh, I carry a gun. I would have shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy. Sure. Sounds good.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's not the answer, and that's not what you do. Okay.
Well, if you shoot them and you just hurt them, you don't take them down. They're gonna kill you.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's foolish to think that. I don't carry weapons when I ride. Some people do. Whatever, if that's their thing, I guess, whatever. But I don't. We've never had any other trouble with any animals. Personally, I love to watch them. I love to see them. I'll sit there and film them. We'll take pictures. We'll watch them for an hour. It's like one of the most majestic animals on earth. You know, it's a super cool thing to be with them in the woods. You know.
Oh, exactly.
We've came across them before. They're imposing, to say the least, when they step out on the trail.
Oh well, when that big bull steps out with his, that's 1,100 pounds, and he's got a 70-inch span on his rack. I mean, it will definitely wake you right up.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, just getting hit with the rack would hurt you.
Yeah,
right.
That's another picture of Coburn Mountain at the peak on a beautiful, not a cloud in the sky day. You can see as far as you can see.
Couple nice 2016s or 2017 XSs there. It's beauty, a blizzard, and I don't know what that back one is. That's pretty wicked.
Yeah, I think that. Gosh,
that's an MXZX that was white and yellow.
Is that what they were? The yellow like that and black?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. I copied this photo one time. Me and Sled 519 lined our sleds up tip to tip like that for a shot.
Yeah, super cool with the sun coming up like that and everything. I just thought it was it was super cool. Yeah, I don't know.
Good shot to see how much lower your four stroke is than your two stroke.
Oh yeah. Well, the Mach Z sat 1.5 inches lower than the regular 900s in 22 that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the nose, but that was one of the things that made them different in 22. But super fun sled. I love that Mach Z. Don't get me wrong. It was the fun factor was off the charts. But the thing for me is it's a great sled. It's an awesome sled for Canada. The 4-stroke has got great power. But the thing for me is getting over the weight on the front end. I really like the lightness. To me, it's something. I like that flickable feeling. I like being able to throw the machine, move it where I want. And with the 4-stroke, you really can't do that. So
no, that's right. I think it comes like what I was saying. Like that's even more of a sit down and cruise sled, right?
Yeah,
it's not stand up, flick it around a corner, that type of thing. And Corey Brock and I were just talking about that on the weekend because I got a chance to ride Brad Bender's new 900R last week, and it's pretty impressive. And man, it rips and it's so smooth. Like it's just the power so linear and smooth on it, and it very powerful. I rode Galitz's too, but it's a pure animal. But I'm talking stock sled to stock sled. But it's like Yeah, one day for sure. I'm not sure like right now is my time to get into a 4-stroke, but I would like to ride one for extended period, like I just did with the Lynx, you know, where you got it for the whole day or a weekend or whatever, and just see what the actual lifestyle is on that sled, right?
Yeah.
To see how if it is something I could ride. Like, do you stand up a lot when you ride?
Oh yeah, I do. I enjoy that part of it. There's going to come a day. Look, you know, we all are getting older, and we're not getting any younger. And so there's going to come a day where I'm not going to be able to really stand up and ride like that anymore. Your knees aren't going to be able to take it. Your body's not going to be able to take it. So the way I look at it is I want to try to ride the way that I ride as long as my body will allow me to. So I do enjoy standing up riding. I do a lot of switching throughout the day. The nice thing about this is you have the best of both worlds. You have the 2-stroke and you have the 4-stroke. The 4-stroke you use on the big, long, wide trails that you're just to the bar and just flying around because of the big, wide, long trails. And the 2-stroke is for that fun stuff, you know, the powder and the tight twisties and the stuff that you want to rail. And it's two different types of fun. It really is.
That's a good way to put it. It is. Yeah.
This was at Heydays. This is one of our crew. These are some of our marketing girls that are just super sweethearts, talented people. Nolan Ferris, Rob Keening. Gosh, I think Jeremy Mercier there, maybe. Everybody's head turned. So yeah, good part of our.
Were you passed out on the ground, or what happened here?
I might have been. I don't know.
Too many trips to the beer garden that day, or what?
Yeah,
no.
The beer barn.
Good times, man. Good times at Heydays. Always good times.
Yeah, I had more fun than waiting in line at the beer tickets for the talking to people and chatting it up than.
Oh yeah,
and it was a fun time. Yeah,
yeah. There's people there from all over the world, all over the United States, everywhere. It's super cool.
Yeah. On message. What year was this? So 22?
Yeah, that was a 22. I love the looks of that sled. That was such a cool looking Gen 4. The colors were great. That was after a good day riding.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah, great colorway in the first year of the gauge as well. It was kind of the perfect sled.
Yeah.
Great.
That photo just blows me away. That was just such an epic night ride. It was just perfect.
Lots of snow. You guys have 24-hour grooming there, or is it like Quebec where they groom at night? Yeah.
Well, a lot of the clubs, I would say probably 80% of the clubs groom at night, but some do, depending on traffic. Some may go out during the day, and if they do go out during the day, they always post or put on their page that they're going to be out grooming during the day to let people know, which is a cool thing. Yeah. I run light bars on the front of my sled. I run a Black Oak Pro or a Rigid Pro, 12-inch spot flood combo is what I run because we do a lot of night riding, and that widens, gives me such a wide field of view and so far down the trail that if a moose or a deer, if it were to pop out in the trail, we can see it so far ahead that we have enough time to, slow down or do what we got to do to avoid an accident or anything. But
is it on a separate? It looks like it's on a separate switch, and you can have it on without the sled on, right?
Yep. That's the way. Some people wire them right into their high beam. I do not do that. Because I don't always want the light on at high beam. Sometimes I want it on low beam. You know what I mean? So that's why I always have it wired into its own switch so I can put it on when I want.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, like this, like it's the same as the whiteout lights from LJE. You can have the sled off and have light going, you know, if you're trying to get into your trailer or you stop for a break or whatever. Right. So it's kind of neat. That looks intensely bright, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can see you coming anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another great
heyday shot.
Yeah. Yeah, another great heyday shot. Yeah.
Yeah. What is that a mountain sled with the yellow bars? I guess not with the
No, that might have been the race sled that we were on right there. It might have been the race sled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they do the RS reveal there every year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it looks good. This your Batman shot.
Batman. Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
That was such a cool sled. The 2017, the last year of the XS chassis. That was such a fun, awesome snowmobile. The 800 E-Tech.
Oh, so you stuck with the 800 E-Tech for one last year. You didn't just get an X850. You stuck with
I did get an X850 too. I did have the first year. Yeah. I had an MXZ X850 2017. I will say the 2017 850s, I think, were some of the fastest 850s ever built.
That's what people say. Like, I heard there was a whole thing on a forum on what I think it was actually on the Skidoo group. Somebody was saying that the pre 2019 850s feel so much faster than the newer ones. They did something different.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
I think you know what? It might be a placebo thing of when they added that extra motor mount and it became a little less vibrating. Maybe that is something to do with it. The sled just feels slower because it's not shaking the fillings out of your teeth as you're riding it or something like that. You know what I mean? Like where you're riding, like, because you can, even when I switched between my dad's sled last year, his 24 XRS and then my XRS, it's like that's the first thing I noticed is that my whole body isn't being like rattled along when you're going down the trail. Like the engine vibration's crazy on those older ones. Yeah.
Such a fun sled, though. I think 2017 they had that motor dialed in perfect. That definitely was the best year, I think, to own the 800 E-Tech. I think they had that motor completely dialed. It was perfect that last year.
Yeah, no, it's and I was saying to Drew yesterday that the XS and the Gen 4, there isn't a lot of to me, feeling of difference between the two chassis. The XS was a pretty refined plant. Then you go from, it's not like going from like the ZX to the Rev, that big of a leap. It's right. It wasn't so much of a leap. The XS is a great chassis for sure.
Yeah, this chassis here sat a lot lower than like the chassis we're into now was more of that hybrid motocross style chassis that's giving you that rider forward, where you right down centerized in the cockpit and you're like forced into the panels, which is kind of weird. I sometimes I'll take my seat and I'll have the back of the seat shaved down so that it's not tilted. You know what I mean? So that you're actually sitting flat, so it's not forcing you into the panels.
Nice. Yeah. Good job. You use the sled treads too, right?
Yeah. Yep. I love the Jeff DeLeon owns sled tread. Great guy. The nice thing about his knee pads are they're 3/4 inch foam. You can never compress them all the way. They actually work as designed. They have different colors, different styles to fit any sled that you have out there. They'll have all the colors to match your sled. Really cool designs. You can go with just straight black if you want as well, but I usually like to run the colors for whatever color I'm running for a sled. So we're actually going to be doing some sled tread giveaways too, coming right up.
That's cool. I should get him on this show, actually.
Yeah, that would be great. I can have that.
Yeah, set it up. We'll talk after the show.
Sure.
I was looking at knee pads for the Gen 4, and I looked at the Skidoo ones, and they're like, I look at the Skidoo ones from my XP, and they were nice and thick. And the Skidoo branded ones are really thin. I think he's getting show and tell, or maybe he just ended up.
Oh no, I'm right here. I'm just grabbing something. Hold on. I'm trying to show you right here. All right.
I love your little man cave here. Is that your office? Or, yeah.
Yeah, I could turn the lights on too. It's pretty bright.
Is that a vintage dealer sign, or is that a replica that someone made?
That's a replica that I had made by this guy right here.
Right on.
He does a
cool.
Yep, same Chapman. It's called Chapman Vintage Snowmobiles. He does all kinds of custom signs. I've got I've got an actual antique one done up as well.
Right on.
But these are some of the different colors, some of the different styles.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that they offer.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you can see how much thicker those ones are. That's great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can see.
Cool.
That's
I know
cool.
Yeah, that's wicked. Very cool. Yeah, maybe I'm just getting old.
Oh no,
I think I am getting old.
I have knee pads in my gear, and then I have them on my sled as well. So
yeah, I wear the 509, but they're hard. Like they're not like you know, the 509 knee pads are not they're not soft and cushy. Like at one point in time I was wearing those the Dollarama gardening things. Don't laugh, they were awesome.
The drywalling like knee pad.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
$10.
Home Depot. Home Depot.
Yeah, you got it. They work great. So there you go. So, but no, that's cool. There's another good trail slide shot.
Yeah, that was part of the Tubi ride there as well. That was some of the people from Tubi, and we stopped for a moment from filming. Yeah.
I can't believe how deep the trail is. The snow is at the side of the trail there.
Oh my gosh, we got buried off trail. We were doing off trail shoots there, and we got buried. I mean, buried.
Wicked. Is it something that they let you ride that, or is there certain areas you can go in for off trail? Like,
oh yeah, we have areas that we can ride off trail. We have some really cool spots. We have some designated areas. We have a lot of old logging roads too that people don't ride anymore. Use anymore. So we off trail on those a lot, which is real cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, that's the egg ride there. That's
that's cool.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you have your smart shocks on comfort when you got a snowsuit full of eggs.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. I tried to go so slow and not break any, but when you get back and they open your coat up, it's like, I don't think I broke any. Yeah.
You know, running down your belly or anything like.
Oh yeah, it's like scrambled eggs. Yeah.
As soon as you you said that, I felt it on my own body, like easing down. It's like that trick when you go like that on somebody with their eyes closed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's I like the turkey mascot too, or the chicken mascot.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to grab a charger. I want to go grab my charger.
Yeah, don't run out of thing. Don't
that
run
happened
out
to
of
somebody in a previous one.
Yeah, no, hold right on. I'm gonna grab
a charger. We'll give away your RC sled up there while we're doing it.
Oh my gosh!
So if anyone can tell you what John's last name is,
Turbo.
Yeah, Turbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at those Tubi helmets he was saying, because I was looking at getting a Pyro, right?
Yeah, right.
They're $900 for one of those Tubi helmets, bud.
Whew. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Right?
But
their gear is high end, man.
It looks better than my Fox helmet I just spent $400 on. So I mean,
so John Gibbs, what's your favorite Apple iPhone charger?
I'm not a huge Apple fan, unfortunately.
Yeah,
just
Brad Hitchcock won the ski ride.
Oh, that's
man.
nice.
He got your last name right. So just hook up with John. He'll mail it out to you.
Oh my gosh.
$2,000. It's $2,000 postage. So
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, you know something? Those snowmobiles those RC snowmobiles that I've been giving away, it's $50 just to ship those, if you can believe it.
oh, I believe it. You can't ship anything here for $50.
It's a big box.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
It's a big
crazy.
box.
Crazy.
Plus your insurance on it, right? This is a key. So
Yeah.
I actually
You're shipping them.
3D scanned my first Gen 5, and I still have to clean up the model in Blender in order to print it. But it's like I tried making a 3D model of my dirt bike, and I'm getting there. I've got all the pieces, but I just have to reprint some of them. It's a lot of time just doing a dirt bike, let alone a sled like that, with all the working components. Like Drew says, the track is amazing on it, right? So, oh, that looks great lit up. Holy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need something like that for the garage, Dad.
Yeah.
It's
No,
not
I
bad.
know.
They're $250. They're all LED. I've got a one of the first Skidoo signs. I had them make one of those too, the retro ones. It's still in the box. I haven't taken it out yet. I'm thinking about doing it with a giveaway. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, we might wind up doing that one as a giveaway. We'll see. They're $250 for the sign, but they're all LED. They're all super nicely done, and you really can't tell any difference from the real deal. Yeah,
It looks legit, as the kids say.
yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. That looks so fun, man, that ride. Oh, I thought you were in the chicken costume. There you are there on the end.
No, they have this woman that comes in every year, and she's dressed up in that chicken costume. It's so cool. Yeah, we were all the ones that had eggs in us over there. Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, it's a neat idea.
And you said the rule is that the more you raise, the more eggs you get, right?
Yes. Yep, that's correct. They shove. I mean, they literally have, cases and cases and cases of eggs, and they have people there literally because they tape up. They take duct tape and tape up the bottom of your shirt so they can't fall out, and they just sit there, poop, poop, drop them right in.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's pretty wild. They should make it so that it's the less money you raise, you get more eggs.
Yeah.
So it starts with 100 eggs, and the more money you raise, you get fewer. So if you raise 10 grand, you may only have to carry 1 or 2 eggs.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
It's
going to incentivize you to raise more money.
Yeah, to work. Yeah, to work hard.
If I only have to carry 1 egg, I'm going to raise $10. Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Good shot there, man.
Yeah. That was in the parking lot of the egg ride before we were getting ready to take off. Super cold. It was wicked cold that day, but it was just a cool shot for the sleds.
Yeah. They look at the old one in the background there, like it's an old Yamaha or something.
Yeah.
He broke all his eggs in the parking lot.
Yeah. See, there they are right there. Look at them. They're loading me up. That's not even right.
Okay. She's having a little bit too much fun with her hand down her shirt.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm going to get him good.
Oh, that's crazy. So is that on top of your Skidoo coat?
Yeah, it's underneath my Skidoo coat. And then they give you this oversized shirt, and then they duct tape the bottom, this pine tree shirt, and then they fill you right up full.
So does it actually wash out of your clothes and jacket?
Oh yeah. Okay? Oh yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah, they have a hose there and stuff. You can spray it all off and stuff after. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty wild.
They love that part though. This was
Yeah.
super cool. This was at the Madawaska Snowmobile Club clubhouse, and these gentlemen here that you see, these older fellas, these are some of the original members that founded the club, that started the club many years ago. Still alive. A couple of these fellas here had some of the first Skidoos that were ever made, and they had never seen one of the new Gen 4 Skidoos, and they were all just in awe. They just couldn't believe it. It was super. It was just a super cool night. There's a lot of cool stories, old stories, listening to their old riding stories on their old sleds. And I mean, those days I could just sit and listen to those guys forever. It's just super cool.
Oh yeah. You know, and that's the thing, you hear people saying, I used to snowmobile and I got out of it and stuff. It's like, well, have you ridden a newer snowmobile? No,
Yeah, right.
I've been one since like friggin' 1978 or whatever. And it's like, no, you gotta, it's different. Like everything's heated. It's like, you know, like ride is there. They start, they're reliable, you know, it's,
Right.
you know, very powerful. You know, it's like anybody that's got out of the sport, they should get back into it, and you'd be blown away by what it's like, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, without a doubt, for sure.
Yeah. There are Hades. Maybe some of these pictures are repeat. Who knows?
Yeah, they might be.
Because you did resend the email a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So. Well, there's a new picture there.
That's Rob and Rob Keening from Wisconsin, and then that's Nolan Ferris from New York. Yep, part of the Skidoo team. Yep, good guy.
Oh, there's MJ right there.
Yeah, MJ, Troy Olsen.
Troy too. Yeah.
And I don't know who that is behind. Oh, that's Rob. Yep, so that's Rob Keening.
Rob Koenig?
Yep.
Yeah, right on. I'd like to get him on the show sometime. We should get all the ambassadors one at a time. I think I've got almost all of them now. Troy's been on, Jay's been on, Jinxie's been on.
Do them all, get them all. Do one show with each of them, and then we'll do one with all of them at the same time and let that chaos unfold.
Oh, that would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun.
It would be almost perfect. Maybe not this season of Snowmobile Sessions, but maybe next year, the one that's directly after the launch of the sleds. See if we can coordinate that, or the few after the launch the next years.
They're hard to pin down after the launch because they're all so darn busy, right?
Well, there is initiation for, the new ambassadors. So, the new guy that comes in, how they got me was we were out in Idaho, and you know what those Zin things are?
No.
Oh yeah. It's the tobacco lip packing things.
Okay.
But they're like the little tabs now. It's not.
Yeah. Tony Jenkins gave me like 3 of these things, and they were 6s. I'm not even sure what that means, but he's like, yeah, you need these. You'll be fine. He had me take those things, and within like 5 minutes, I was so dizzy, I thought I was going to pass out. I went outside the bus and puked. I come back in the bus, they're all laughing. We got you,
Oh my God.
It's a good time.
Look what Corey just put in the chat, Dad. Look what he just put.
Corey Jinx said I'd push a penny down a hallway with my nose.
Yeah. There is initiation for the new guy.
Zin mess you up if you're not used to nicotine. Yeah.
Oh
there
yeah.
You go.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm not a smoker, so it was pretty rugged.
It's like trying your first cigarette out when you're grade 8.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Trails open in Dorset in 2 days, Drew.
Holy crap.
This evening.
Yeah,
there you go.
Stay open.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good shot there, bud.
Yeah, that was an action shot on the 2B shoot.
Nice.
Yeah, on the Mag Z. Yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah, that was a cool shot. They actually sent me a couple still shots of the
Right
of
on.
the
Did they
of
use
the,
that in their magazine or their catalog or
yeah,
website? Yeah.
yeah, catalogs, web pages. They did a big thing on Veterans Day for my dad. You can still find it on their channel and stuff, and on YouTube and stuff. Yeah, really cool stuff, man. They're really a cool company that really cares about the blue collar worker, the
Yeah.
plumber, the contractor, the electrician, the auto parts worker, the nurse. They care about people like you and me. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I don't work.
I got to get your a job like you.
There we go.
Oh,
Oh, it's wild. Another
well,
shot.
yeah. That was a team. That was this year at Heydays, I believe.
Oh,
That's
cool.
Steve Martin, Carl Kuster, Tony Jenkins, me. That's our Lynx ambassador, Colton, and MJ on the end.
Right on.
Yeah, yeah. That was a great time. This was all of the riders from the Tubi shoot that I invited to come. That was a great time. I could pick 4 other riders to come ride, and so we had 2 girls and 2 guys. So it was super cool, man. We had some great sleds, great time.
Yeah. I like the color of that jacket you're wearing.
Yeah, that's the Arctos. I actually had that's Corey Brock likes that a lot too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really like that. Very cool. I guess that email invite must have went in the junk mail too. Damn, you have to
Like my photos.
you have to add you to my contact list, you know? I can't win. I can't win here. What's going on? Yeah, well, that's very cool. Thanks for sending all the pictures, and that's awesome. They're really good.
Yeah, this was a great time, man. This was a good time.
Yeah, it was fun, man. You're a good guy. The stuff you're doing charity wise and for the veterans, thank you so much for that. That's wild. It's good to see you giving back. I know you don't take it for granted, right?
No. I give $500 a month to a snowmobile club each month throughout the winter months, and we just chose our second club today. So the Patton, Maine Rockabima Snow Rangers are going to get the next $500 donation to the club. So
cool. That's awesome.
Super happy for them.
Yeah. And then your Facebook group again, the huge one is Skidoo Lynx Owners Group.
Yep, Skidoo Lynx Owners Club, and then it's New England Sled Talk. Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah,
New England Sled Talk, is it worth it for guys out of New England to join it, or is it more of a?
Oh yeah. No, we have a lot of people out of New England that actually people from throughout the United States that want to ride Maine or ride New Hampshire or whatnot, that come on there and get a lot of lodging, places to eat, places to stay, where to rent sleds, where to get sleds, gear. It's a super informative site. And then we have another one in Maine that's called Maine Snowmobile Trail Talk and Discussion, that is just solely on Maine trails and Maine trails only. There's 17,000 people in there. So yeah, I got, between everybody, it's like 237,000 people to manage between all the groups. So it's a lot. Yeah.
Nice work, though, man. That's great.
Yeah.
I love it. And then if people want to keep on top of you, do you have social channels that you post to?
Yeah, they can find me on Facebook at John Gibbs. They can find me there, and then on Instagram, Do Rider 007 is how they can find me on Instagram. And
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Greg Kelly says, good show, Gary and Drew. An excellent guest, John Gibbs. Kind of a quiet lad. Take care, all. That's very cool. No, I really appreciate your time tonight. Thank you so much. And Kelly, send me your address and I'll make sure, and Throwing Sparks. I think I have Throwing Sparks, but send me both your addresses. I'll forward them on to John and we'll make sure you get those prizes out ASAP. We'll see everybody next week, but thank you so much for your time tonight, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. And thanks for everybody tuning in. This is a great show. I'm glad everybody supports it. Gary's a great guy.
Yeah, for sure. Hang out after the credits, and I just want to throw something your way too. Okay, buddy?
Sure. Sounds good.
We'll run the credits right now, and away we go.